All right, thanks, Steelo. Good afternoon, everyone, from a bit of a blustery Victoria Park out in Bannockburn for a very crucial clash leading into the last 4 rounds of GDFNL football action. Bannockburn versus East Geelong. Very tight there in the middle of Ladderdale. Welcome, mate. Another nice home game for you.
Yes, unfortunately I had to go to work this morning, Spy, but that doesn't matter. We went into town, we come back again, and no, it's good. As I said, it's a couple of important weeks, obviously, for all clubs at this stage of the year. Those who want to cement their top 3, those trying to get into the top 3, and also just trying to cement a place in the top 5 also. So there's some important games going on this afternoon. I've already been down to the canteen, and the ladies doing the halftime spread said Grubby's not in, so we won't have to worry about too much down there today. There's probably a plate full you won't have to worry about.
No, you're right.
We just hope the old fella's feeling a bit better than he was yesterday. He's still a bit ordinary this morning, so he says, but hopefully he can only get better from here.
Well, he must be ordinary, mate. He's given up a bit of overtime to work on Saturday to not even be here, mate, as well. So, no, good luck, Grub. We are missing him. We are waiting for Bannockburn legend Ash Perkins, or Gripper as he's known, to wander in. That's who he's got himself out of the Railway Hotel yet, mate. So
he's probably sitting down there just organising the bar before he does all his other duties, Spied. So he's got some priorities, and well, hopefully he'll join us before we get up and rolling. It
promises to be a fantastic game today, mate. East Geelong, their players back. We watched Bannockburn completely dismantle Belpo still last week. So this is, these sides, the way the draw is at the moment, still have a chance to finish third, possibly even second there. They're only 4 points behind Belpo still, so has a lot of importance on it.
Every game now on is important, especially to Bannockburn, I suppose, as they've got to win today, and then they have got another game which is crucial next week. I think they go across to Winverley, so that won't be an easy challenge, but with also the following 2, I think they've got Corio at home and then maybe West at West. I'm not too sure the other way around it could be. I'm not 100% sure, but again, you've just got to keep winning games of football and giving yourself a chance to finish as high as you can. Well, I think that anyone in the top 5, probably more so this year than any other time, can win the flag. I would still like to finish that 1, 2, 3 position just to give you that second chance, mate. It's pretty important, I think, in football these days.
Well, the ladder as it reads now after 14 rounds, mate. Thompson on top on 48 points. Belpo still second on 44. Inverleigh, East Geelong and Bannockburn are all on 40. And then there's Werribee on 36, who travel to Belmont today. So it's going to be a fantastic... usually we're set at probably... Usually we're set at, by now we know who's playing finals, just sometimes a bit of jockeying position, but there's still a genuine 6 that can make it.
Well, it would be, and I don't know the record at Werribee Central's at Belmont Lions ground, but I don't think it's that great. A real danger game for them also down there this afternoon. So they will need to win that to give themselves a chance to get back into the top 5. Having said that, they have got a pretty brutal run coming home themselves, the Werribee Central boys.
They do. They play Belmont today, and it's Belpo still next week, and then it's finished with...
might be even East Geelong, and could even be Inverleigh last game at home.
Last game, yep. So, that today's takes on more importance, and... you're right, but the season's alive, which is really what you want. I mean, Winch were probably in it until last week. I mean, they're 2 games out with 4 games to play, so you think it's pretty hard for them to sneak in.
They've got Inverleigh today, I think, too.
Yes, they have. So that's going to be, Inverleigh seem to be just... Well, you could say sneaking up because we're not really talking about them a lot. It's all about Thompson and then Belpo on the injuries from East Geelong and how Bannockburn are going, and if you didn't believe it, just 4 points off second now, and they had a slow start to the year. They lost a couple they probably shouldn't have lost, and all their players are coming back as well.
Yeah, I think that's a key spot, and I think that's the key with every side. You even look at Winch, the injury that they've had over the last 2 or 3 weeks when they probably needed their best to be up and playing to get a result. They haven't had them there. They've put in some pretty good efforts, but at this stage of the year, as I said, those good efforts don't reward you with 4 points, and that's what you need to play for every week that you go into. As I said, you've got to keep your season along as long as you can, but there are a few sides which are now starting just to fall away.
2 big ins for Inverleigh today. Jack Violet's back.
Is he actually back in?
Well, he's named in the side, and Cad McEwen Welsh.
Yep.
Is also named in the side.
Hussey was also named in their side.
Hussey's in, yes.
So he was another one I think that came in. So
Mick and Dan Groz are both in.
Yep.
As well. So, I mean, I think we've seen the game when
Mick did the
hammy. And it looked like a good one too, but he's back in. So they're probably close to their best 22.
Look, I couldn't be 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure who would be still out.
Jimmy Hybens?
Well, Jimmy Hybens, yeah, he'd be floating around somewhere, Jimmy, but obviously a bit too late now to come in and present yourself. But, yeah, look, as I said, it's a really interesting season we've had. And as I said, Spide, usually by round 9 or 10 you sort of think, well, the season's done and dusted for the top 5, we can sort of sit back and then just jostle for places and then work out the last couple of games, but that hasn't been the case. And as I said, it will go down to the wire, and as I said, the 4 games to go, some important games coming up, none more important, as I said, for today's game here for a lot of clubs to really set where they're going to be.
Well, where we can sneak in if they have a win, so it will be interesting. A couple of changes for Bannockburn, mate. Brad Watts is out, and Alfred's out as well.
Yep, I see him running around with a moon boot on his foot there, or some sort of boot. So obviously did that. I think he got taken off late last week.
He did.
So coming into their side would be Tristan Battaglia, which will be a handy in,
and Callum Elliott,
which I don't know much about.
Is the other one, which is unusual because obviously you spent a bit of time around this area, mate, and you tend to know who most of the players are, but. Couple of big ones. Lockie particularly running around in the 2s as well, so there's probably somebody who's got to come back in as well, I would have thought.
Well, he's obviously, I'm not too sure what injury he's had, but I know he didn't play last week, and no. With the way they performed, it's pretty hard to make too many selection changes, and Ronnie's been confident with what he's had on board, and that's pretty much what he's done this week, so stayed with the couple of necessary calls and brought 2 in and 2 out, and hopefully they can get the job done. I think he's, as I said, he said the last time they played East Geelong, they were in the game for a long, long time, but East Geelong overran them in the last quarter. But having said that, they did play the Anzac game during the week, so that may have slowed some of those younger players and taken its toll. But anyway, look, they were good last week. If they can present something like they did then, I think they're probably going to be a good chance out here this afternoon.
Very clean last week, they were. And I said the first quarter it was probably all Belpo still, and Banno just did enough to stay in the game. And then probably halfway through the second quarter, it was just all Bannockburn. So hopefully we get something like that today. A little bit of wind, Dale, so unfortunately it looks like a bit of the play might be on the other side of the ground. So, as always happens. But anyway, we'll have a look at some of the other games on today. As I said, there's a couple of important ones. Inverleigh are travelling along quite nicely. As I said, if Jack Follett and McHugh and Welsh do play, that gets close to probably their best 22 at the right end of the season, with still time to get some games under their belts. I mean, we know Jack was missing for 6 weeks, but he also missed a couple of games before that too. So he's probably been out of footy for 8 to 9 weeks.
I think he had a run of 2s at Anarchy last week.
Yep.
But as I said, you've got to get your best side back in, playing good football and getting things settled.
And 2 o'clock footy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they've got Winch today, and like Winch. We've seen them earlier in the year, and they weren't fantastic. It wasn't a great standard of game we've seen against West, but they're doing enough to annoy opposition sides. They had a very convincing win over Belmont a couple of weeks ago at Belmont, so they're doing enough to annoy sides and stay in games long enough. And this will be a test for Inverleigh, I think.
Oh, I think it will be, but. Having said that, unless they get some players back, Lee Ellis has been one that's important. As I said, someone said he's leading the goal kicking for the year for the league, which I didn't think he would be. But
he's in the side today.
Yep. So he's back, is he?
Yeah, he's been named.
So Stevenson was another one that's been out. So I'm hoping he went back.
Tom Stevenson's in.
Well, Reese wasn't. He's out for the year because I know he's pulled the pin for the season, and Brown was the other one that we were looking at. If they've got those 3, or if they can get Brown back into that side as well, so they're getting a little bit back, but they're still maybe that 1 or 2 players short. And as I said, I think Butch would have realised that, and right at the start of the year, they need to have their best players playing each week to give themselves a real good opportunity. But unfortunately, when you keep getting injuries, it hurts you. As I said, it's not usually your last half dozen you pick every week. It's usually your top important players that go out, and none more than those 4 that we've just mentioned. So,
Brown's he came back for 1 or 2 weeks, and then
we hurt his knee again.
Yeah, and then he's out again. So it's a big loss. So who wins it, mate?
Oh, look, I think Inverleigh, they've been going along pretty nicely, said Spy. They're starting to get their group back together now at home. Look, I really think while Winchelsea will be in this game for a fair way, I reckon there's going to be 5 to 6 goal margin at the end of the day. So,
Jared loves a big inclusion.
Yeah, well, he came back last week and Everly was pretty good. And Everly, I was talking to Shane Grundle during the week, and he said they brought up a couple of the kids last week. He said there was a young kid that played off the halfback flank. He reckons he was unlucky actually to go over the side. I'm not too sure of his name now, but a blonde-headed kid. So, look, they've got some good depth there now. Their junior program over there is pretty strong, and that's what you need to have, as I said, Spud. With the point system going forward, if you can get 1 or 2 out of each level of football that comes through, it goes a long way to making sure that your side's stays pretty competitive and can go out and do a bit of recruiting as well. So, look, I'm going to tip Inverleigh at home. I reckon, as I said, 5 to 6 goal margin pretty easily.
Yep, fair enough. I probably agree with you, mate. I think Winch will serve it up to them for a while, but I think the class of Inverleigh, and we have seen it's getting back to the sides that they had that constantly playing prelim finals and grand finals. So
all those players that were out too are all getting back and playing some game time now. Matty Tycon's back in regular playing footy. Yep. Hussey was obviously been one that's been in and out. I think Jared Young was back in the side today as well. He was mentioned, and then, as you said, Jack Filer. So he's going to need probably another 2 or 3 weeks just to work out the rust. But after that, I think, as I said, they'll go pretty well. Yeah,
Youngie's back in as well. So, there's a couple of big ins for him. And as I said, just that 2 o'clock footy now and getting the feel for things 4 weeks out from the big round at St Albans. On to Myers Reserve. Should be nice and still up there, wouldn't it, today? So, after what we've seen last week, they've lost, what's his name? Who's the bloke come back in last week? Sable. He's out again. He's out. So he wasn't named today. So
I seen him here last week, didn't he? So
it was his first game back for 15 weeks. No, Bo Collins is out for 6, from what I've been told.
6.
Yeah. So that he may sort of sneak back. That so the double chance and probably finish on top would have been nice and to have that week off.
I reckon first week of the finals he'll be back.
I would have thought so. I mean, they got the double chance, but then again, you don't want to blow it and then suddenly be playing every Sunday, do you?
No.
So they're set up to 6 weeks. He's out 4. So he's been a massissive loss, and they did feel it last week. Young Vasika didn't play last week either. I'm not sure if he's back in this week or not. I haven't spoken to him, but there are a couple of their key players that are missing. But they take on North Geelong today. Who you're getting? That sports bet.
Someone's trying to sell me some solar panels.
Again?
They don't bloody work.
I don't mind mine. But they got North Geelong today.
You must have a better set than mine, Spider. Mine are useless.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Straight off the black market. No, just kidding. North Geelong have been a lot more competitive of late in the last couple of weeks. They're pushing sides. They still haven't broken through for their first win for the year, and probably can't see them do it today. But how do you see that one unfolding, mate?
Who they what?
You got Belpo still North Geelong, mate?
Nah. Sorry, mate. I was listening, but I wasn't.
Nothing unusual.
Yeah, look, and that's at Belpo Still, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at Myers.
Look, as I said, Belpo Still will be far too strong out there. As I said, they're in a position now where they'll be hurting from last week. As I said, they really never got themselves into the game after quarter time. I thought they probably had the better of Bannockburn in the first quarter, but just couldn't get things on the board. I think they'll get things running this afternoon. As I said, North Geelong. Look, as I said, at the start of the year, I said North Geelong wouldn't win a game of football for the season. I would have said you've got rocks in your head, because I actually thought they might have been pushing the top 5 without any hassle at all, because they were starting to get a few blokes back into their side. Things haven't worked out that way, but as I said, footy can be a funny game. And I'm going to say with Belpo Still, and I think another easy victory up there in the hill today would be quite on the cards.
Well, they probably need to, because you've got to build your percentage where you get the chance. Because it could come down to round 18 who finishes on top.
Yep.
And it could come to that percentage that gives you top spot or not. So,
well, they've still got plenty of blokes up forward that can kick goals for them. As I said, I reckon Ren Lovett, as I said, when they said he was coming back to play, I had been doubts whether he actually be any value. But I'll tell you what, after watching him the last couple of times, he's more than just value to them. He is massive. Now, if he happens to fall over, then they're in a world of pain.
They're in real trouble.
Yeah, they're in a world of pain. But he is doing a marvellous job, the big fella.
He was fantastic last week.
Oh, he was. He was sensational. It's not. He's just the work level, but the work rate he does, and then also stuff at ground level as well. There's not too many ruckmen that can actually get down and do that sort of stuff. And while he not be the quickest mover around the ground, mate, he is still some pretty good value to Belpo Still. And as I said, they're going along with all right with him in the side, and they will need to keep him, as I said, up and running.
Well, Greg Williams is one of the better footballers ever to play the game, mate, and he wasn't that quick across the ground either. So you don't need to be that quick across the ground, do you?
Got to be smart, footy smart. That's what it's about, Spider.
Absolutely. Well, I see Ren made a fair bit up at Belpo Still. He's running laps every day of that oval, mate, and So he's reasonably fit.
Yep. Yeah, well, that's good. As I said,
his knees got to hold up.
Yeah, that's the thing. The body's got to hold up. But as I said, what we saw last week, there's nothing wrong with the game of footy he's playing.
No, and the game that it probably has some bearing with the result with this game too, because Belmont versus Werribee at Belmont. You know, whoever loses today, Werribee will move back on level of points with them. I mean, the winner of today's game skips away for them, unless it's a draw, of course.
Yep.
Skips 4 points ahead, but then Werribee come back into the equation as well. So, big game then at the Winter Resort, Belmont and Werribee.
Yeah, as I said, Spot, I'm pretty sure Grubb has mentioned to me that the record down there is not that great. But having said that, I think they are playing a little bit better football than they have been playing in recent years. They seem to be, even more than last week, they were right in the game up until about the last 5 or 10 minutes of it. So, as I said, they're there. They can win the game of football. And I think if they've got any idea or any inkling that they want to play final football, then they will leave no stone unturned there this afternoon. I reckon they will win the game, but I don't reckon the margin's going to be all that great. I think Belmont will push the living suitcases out of these blokes out there today. And as I said, they're a far better side. They keep winning games of football and they win away from home, but at home they are a dangerous combination, I reckon.
They are. Well, no Ben Evans today, it looks like, for Belmont. So
he's not holding up again this week.
Probably not, no.
He might have had the ice bath after the game last week, mate. Might have went straight into the pies.
A bit of North Melbourne there, mate. Don't get in the ice bath and get thrown to Adelaide at the end of the year. So, yeah, look, Werribee seem to be getting their players back and are travelling along reasonably well, but it's a must-win. They cannot afford to lose this one with their run home if they want to have any chance of playing finals.
Yeah, no, these are games that you don't want to lose. As I said, they're probably a game that they are expected to win, but they're sometimes the ones that you actually fall short on. So, whether they players go there with that thought process that we've just got to go through what we normally do and we'll win this game of football. But, again, having said that, if they're not prepared to do that little bit extra to make sure it's going to happen, then they could find themselves in trouble. But I reckon they'll win the game, Spider, but I reckon it'll be only a 2-goal margin.
I reckon if they lose it, it's probably shut the door.
Yep.
Pretty much. So, I mean,
if they lose at Grubb, we are not going to Werribee next week.
He's not going anyway. He'll be still,
well,
take the day off and take another day off.
He'll probably get a text in a minute.
You reckon he's awake?
Oh, he'll be awake. He'll be awake, yeah.
He'll be counting the money he's missed out on this morning. Out to Foottrot Flats, mate. Anarchy and Corio. We did call this corresponding game earlier in the year.
And to be honest, it wasn't a bad game of football.
First half was really good.
Yeah, first half was football. Anarchy were able to stay in the game of football and stay there for a fair while. But unfortunately, the talent out at Corio took over in the second half and made a bit of a mockery of the game. But still, having said that, they are at home. It is past Players' Day out there, Spiders, so they've got something to play for. They've won a game of football this season, so I don't think they're going to win their second. But I hope they can, as I said, give the boys that are going out to support them this afternoon and their ex-players, give them something to actually cheer about at the end of the day. So we'll hope for that, but I still think the margin will get beyond 40 or 50 points.
Look, it will be a big day out there. Some of those boys don't mind reminiscing and hanging around for a while. I think Mitch said it this morning on hashtag. He said, while Corio have won 4 and this could be 5 or should be 5, you can see the direction that they're trying to head and how they're trying to do it. So, whereas sometimes I think with Anarchy, it's because it's the high turnover of players, I think makes it hard to get a set game style in and playing it. But yeah, with Corio, you can actually see what they're trying to do. So I agree with you, Dale. I think that Corio should win and win reasonably comfortably. But as I said, past Players' Day, and the town will be rocking. So Davey Worms will probably be out there, and the Bissett boys, and Welsh might duck out there in his official duty as a GDFL.
Well, yeah, you just don't know. He might get out there, and old Toothy will be definitely out there.
There's no doubt Toothy will be out there, mate. And might see the old boys like Neville Gogol and Bertie Pittman and these blokes running around out there. Also might want them playing. So, but it would be a good turn for Anarchy, and with a bit of luck, they put on a good show. GDFS versus Thompson, mate, at West Oval.
Look, West probably, I might say surprised last week with their win, but I think, as I said, they're doing things now they probably wouldn't have done at the start of the year, and giving a lot of their junior players a bit of an opportunity. With injuries is really, as I said, another team that's been rocked by injuries. Again, a side that you would have thought at the start of the season would have finished within the top 5, and not only easily, but with games to spare. But That hasn't been the case at this stage, so they still need to do a little bit of work. But the good thing is, as I said, they're doing the right thing, giving some young blokes a go. I think Thompson, far too much to lose by going out there today. Again, probably not a ground that really they enjoy playing at, but I think they're going to be far too good and get the job done, Spide. So I reckon another game that will get beyond the 30-point margin.
The bike track scares a lot of people, doesn't it, mate? It's a tough ground to play on, West. But yeah, I think you're right. I think Thompson, there's still got a couple to come back in. I think Freeman's got to come back in, and
was Jarks? He's been out
back
for a
today.
He's back, was he?
He's done his 3 weeks, mate.
Okay, so
he's 3 weeks. He's back in.
So
today.
they brought him straight back in. Darcy Troop probably needs to put his hand on the ball again and get a few goals. I don't know whether he's been.
He kicked 4 last week.
Oh well, that's all right. As I said, without reading the paper these days, Spy, you rely on all the information you can get from around different sources, but. We usually have the boss buy the paper. It's the only paper he buys Monday morning, but he didn't bring it in this week, so I was failing to go out and spend $1 or whatever they cost these days.
It's about $3.50 these days, mate.
For a Geelong advertisement?
Yeah, mate.
For Harvey Norman's paper?
Yeah, for the Harvey Norman advertisement. I get it online.
Yep.
So, with the app, mate, you just read the scores on a Saturday night and have a couple of quiet ones watching the cricket or the footy, whatever's on, and just read the app and away you go. But yeah, Troop kicked 4 last week. Nathan Bissett kicked 4 last week as well. So they had a good win, as they've been doing for most of the year, and they're probably rightly so. They're top of the ladder, and you'd say flag favourites at the moment. On to today's game here, mate. We miss Grubby. I mean, it shows how much Grubby waffles on, mate. We're 25 minutes out from the start of the game. We've covered the sixth game. Well, this is the 6th game we're covering now. So
haven't got the memorial clock, which I'm a bit worried about. But anyway, let's take the scoreboards on there and going all right.
There's a big clock up there, mate. So we'll be right with that. Currently in the reserves here sees East Geelong 12-6-78, leading Bannockburn 7-4-46. 15-minute mark of the last quarter. All right, mate. How do we see Bannockburn v East Geelong unfolding?
Well, as I said, mate, I was very impressed last week with the way they went about their football. They used Mitch Hammond in the ruck, I reckon, for the majority of the day. There wasn't too many people that actually went in and helped him out. Now, if he can do that today and do that for the rest of the year, then that will obviously help him out. Because I think while they were able to play Cal Hetherington up in the forward line with Josh Kunchka, and you've also got Kieran Fulton up there. You've got 3 good marking options, and then you've got some smarts around him. And as I said, you put Tristan Battaglia back into that side today. He adds to that as well because he is very, very smart around the goals. Liam Elzinger, who's been going exceptionally well all season, keeps finding the ball. So they've got that good blend, I reckon, at the moment. As I said, if they could go out and probably find a ruckman in the pre-season that was available, and it was 6'8", I reckon
they grow on trees.
I'm not asking for too much, but I reckon they could go a fair way next year again. But look, I was really impressed with them. But as I said, Spider, going back the other side, Sam Lowe's back in their side at East Geelong now. Hasn't played for some time, but he's back. I think he might have been his third week back. Zach Smith is an important cog to him up forward. He works well with his mate and Jake Watson-Searle, both coming across from St Albans. Ali Mars and Tom Cordermars back in the side now, which they haven't been the last time we called them. There was another bloke that came back in. John McIntyre was another bloke that hasn't been in their side, but has come back in recent times. So they are starting now to get their quality back in. Unfortunately, their ruckman today is not playing, Tim McLennan. So he is a big out. But again, they just need someone to compete in the middle like Mitch Hammond's doing for Bannockburn. If they can get that done, then this looks to be a really, really good game. Who's going to win the game? After last week, I didn't pick Bannockburn, but I reckon this week at home, I'm going to pick them. As I said, the heart wanted this Bannockburn to win, but I just felt Belpo still, with their record and the way they play their game of football, I thought they would have worn Bannockburn down. But as I said, Bannockburn were far too good from about quarter time onwards, Spider.
What? No heart for Belpo still, mate? You did coach there for 2 years as well.
That's why I really couldn't lose last week. I had my head in a lot of corners last week. But as I said, it was a great game of football to watch and even to call. As you said, it makes for a pretty good day's entertainment. And we just hope that it can continue today. And as I said, I reckon it's going to be a great day. Their forward line, as I said, with Watson-Searle, with Zach Smith, and also Ezard up forward. He was quite good when we saw them last time, taking good, strong marks. They're going to miss the run of Lemper, and then Billy Andrews is not also in the side. So there's 2 blokes that you generally would get the ball from the middle, run and dash and carry and kick the ball long. They haven't got them, so they need to find a couple of blokes that can do that in their side today. So who that will be, I'm not too sure. Maybe young Benny Crombie will maybe spend some more time in that middle of the ground and try and be that person.
Well, you're tipping Hugh Menzies too, who got his hands on the ball a bit last week, so he's He's going all right too. So it's a dangerous forward line. But I think, look, after what I've seen last week with Lewis Clifton, Lukey Bowden, they were just unbelievable how good they were last week against a much vaunted Belpo Steel forward line. As you mentioned, their small forwards are really good. Will Ford, I think Mitch said he's sitting 6th on the goal kicking.
Yep.
This year, which if I had a record, I'd be able to check that.
Well, as I said, I was struggling to find out who was in top and who was. I didn't realise until I spoke to Grubby last night that Lee Ellis was leading the goal kicking.
Well, he kicked the 16, and then he went sort of 4-4-3, 4-4.
But I think he's only got mid 40s, so I don't think anyone's got a massive number. Would that be correct?
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So he's kicked 16 in one game and 3 against Belmont Lions in a quarter. So there's basically 20 of his 46.
Goals.
Yeah, in 2 games of think football. So and you sort of think back that maybe Will Ford has kicked probably 4 or 5 goals a game. We've played 15. That's got to be 60. So he's under him as well. So he's done a tremendous job, Lee Ellis, in what he's been able to achieve. As I said, 16 in the game definitely helps. But every other side has had the opportunity to play against Anarchy before and kick goals, but he seems to be doing it better.
Yeah, well, you say that, mate. It looks like there's a big chance that the first 100 goal kicker for in Victoria might be in one of the local comps here down in Colac. Dom Dare might have snuck through 18 last week, and he's gone to 96.
Who's he play with?
Dominic Dare plays at Elvie.
Oh, does he?
Played at Colac.
Yep.
In the Tigers. Him and his brother Levi, just fantastic footballers. So they're at Elvie, and he's got 96. There's a bloke, Brendan Grenfell, plays in Bendigo's on 99.
Yep.
Their side's got a bye today.
Oh.
Apparently, Grenfell kicked 5.
Is that in relation to the Grenfell that's out at Anarchy? I mean, at Corio?
I don't know.
Because Corey Grenfell, he was played out there, and I think he was at Anarchy for a while, and he's got some dogs as well, hasn't he?
He could well be. But this Brendan Grenfell's played around. He's been at a few different leagues. Kicked the 100 a couple of times in Bendigo already. He kicked the 100 elsewhere, but
so he can kick a goal.
He's on 99. I think they said he kicked 5-5 or something last week, going for his 100th, and now they've got the bye this week. So he's not going to be the first one in the state. Well, he still could be, but yeah, Dom, they've got LV got Birregurra today, so we'll know pretty quickly because it's the match of the round for their call. So no doubt one of the boys will let me know as soon as it happens, but that'd be nice. I can't remember. As I said, we had a chat the other day. The last time people kicked 100 goals and in each league. I'm not sure who it was who in the GFL, but I think was it Kennedy Hunt was the last one in the GD.
Could possibly.
I don't know. In the other leagues, there hasn't really been any. I think it could be Zonomi Suto was the last one in the GFL, mate. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, as I said, I couldn't tell you who the last one would have been. Maybe the special comments man might be able to tell us.
You reckon? It's we're going to go to a break, but we'll say good day to you first. Ash Perkins, Bannockburn legend, royalty and everything else, and the father of Ryan, of course, who's running around today. Gripper, welcome to the commentary team, mate.
Thank you very much. Afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's well.
We're good as we can be, Grip. It's on a nice afternoon. Anyway, good afternoon for footy. We've had a couple of good ones in recent times, so we're looking forward to another one this afternoon.
We have. It's a little bit breezy, but it's not too bad. It wasn't pushing too much of the footy over the far side, mate. So you had a busy morning, Grip.
Very quiet, actually. We had a bit of a send-off for a workmate last night, so it was a bit slow. Enough to keep me out of trouble anyway.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that, mate. Nothing wrong with enjoying your Friday night.
No, it was a very, very nice feed out in town, and got home, watched a bit of the cricket, which was good. So had a good morning. So looking forward to the game today. It should be a cracker today.
Yeah, look, we've spoken about it. We hope it would be after what we've seen from Bannockburn last week, and it's at East starting to get. They've still got a couple of their probably key players out, but getting most of their blokes back. No excuses this time of year. You want to play finals, you do whatever it takes to get there, don't you?
Yeah, I agree. The boys have just started picking up the last couple of weeks. They were certainly good last week, exceptional last week, and
yep.
It's probably the best they've played all year, to be honest. So hopefully they can keep that form up. They'll have a fair crack today. They really do need to win if they want to sort of finish up in the top few. So give them all the best shot today anyway.
Where's young Brad Watts, mate? He's played 250 and just decided not playing this week at all.
I'm not sure where Brad is actually. He was there Thursday night, so I'm not sure whether he's got a niggle or not. I haven't actually asked Ronnie, but he may have a niggle possibly, but I haven't actually heard, to be honest with you.
Might be away with work too, because he does travel a bit with work.
He does get around a bit, yeah.
Yeah, so I do understand his brother's last game today. His brother's taken off on Monday.
Oh, he might have gone earlier then, maybe.
He could have too. He could have. Well, I know a few of the boys met this way. They're hitting up the Simpson Desert. Maybe he's gone with them. Who knows? But anyway, all right. We'll go back to Steelo in the studio. Have a quick word from the sponsors, and then We'll head back here. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football. And back here at Victoria Park, Bannockburn, Morris Finance GDFNL match of the day, which is sees Bannockburn taking on East Geelong. These boys are out a bit early, aren't they?
Keen, mate. You've got to be keen this time of the year, Spider. You can always tell it's getting close to September too. Collingwood lost last night, so they're starting to get a bit worried. Hey, could they have a little better side, eh?
Kicked beautifully, didn't they?
Well, I tell you what, it was. I didn't expect. It was one of those things, you know. They're 2.5 goals down, 1.75 time. You think, oh well, they'll just do what they normally do, but
come back and
look, it's going to come back and bite them at some stage. They're not going to be able to find a way to get back every day. But as I said, it was very interesting now. See what's going to happen with them over the next couple of weeks. But they playing some good footy, and they're, as I said, a good team to watch. Not that I'd like to say that to too many people, but they are a good team to watch playing footy.
I think both sides are.
Hey.
Oh, here we go. Grubby's not here, Steelo.
Grubby's put in a request, and he's Steelo. God, you can't keep him out of here, mate, I'll tell you.
Grubby put a request in. Well, there's two high-scoring games at the moment. Geelong are on one behind, and Freo haven't scored, and Bulldog 0, and GWS 2 behinds, mate. So it'd be nice and warm in Ballarat, wouldn't it?
Oh, is that where they've been playing, is it? Ballarat?
Yeah, it's at Mars Stadium.
Oh, there you go. Actually, I passed Continue Park this morning, to be honest. I had to go down and do a couple of things, and at 11 o'clock, the amount of people that were actually going to the game then, I know I started at 1:30, 1:40, whatever it was. So
Geelong supporters, mate, they got no life.
Oh, unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. Like the car park, the big car park, at least it's not underwater and people get in there, but it was amazing the amount of people driving and getting over there and in their colours and walking across the road. And
well, I obviously did hashtag this morning, and we had Shane Painter in. He doesn't drive, so I dropped him back out home at Grovey, then I went back Actually, it was when I picked him up. We're going in about 7:45. And they were putting getting the bollards out, ready to go to block off Maribel Street.
Yeah.
So up and about early. But yeah, as I said, that's a good idea. They block it off so people can just walk from the South Geelong train station without fear of being run over by one of the several hoons floating around Geelong.
That's it. There's plenty of them.
All right, Grip. How do you see today unfolding, mate?
It's going to be interesting. Like, they certainly got hold of us the first round. They completely outplayed us the first game in there, and they're very good defensively. They really shut us down across half forward. So I think if we can, open the game up a bit and move the ball a bit quicker than last time, we'll go okay. Some of those young forwards, young Conjures, the last 3 or 4 weeks have been really, really good. This type of player is hard to match up on. He's pretty big, and when he tosses us up, he's hard to get hold of. So I think that's the key. If we can get the ball in quick enough and get that half forward fire, and I think we're in with a pretty good show. We
spoke about it before you came in, mate. Your backline last week, Louis Clifton and Lukey Bowden were outstanding last week against a much vaunted Belpost Hill forward line.
Yeah, no, those boys, the whole backline's been really good. I think they work well for each other, and so Louis Clifton's had a really good year. He gets a lot of the ball, and he becomes pretty attacking off that.
He uses it well too.
He does. He's good. And with Dan Measures back there as well, I know Ryan keeps saying how good it is to have Dan back there, keeps a level head down and keeps all those boys together. So, yeah, I think the backline's been good all year. It's just a matter of just trying to get some clean ball with that half forward.
Yeah, and I think, Dale, we've touched on it, having the two Cole brothers, has been exceptional for the last couple of years, and maybe we thought with those two not playing that, things might have been out of whack a little bit, but you just seem to find players, don't you?
Well, I think the big thing, Grip, is Benny Cole was enormous, wasn't he, last year? Like, I know he's not, I don't know how you describe it, but I tell you what, the work he did to allow other players to go forward, and that's what we said here this morning, with Mitch in there doing the ruck work for you. It was allowed Hetherington to stay forward. He's a great option up forward. Then you've got Kunska, and then also you've got Kieran Fulton. 3 good marking options, and then you've got some smarts around on the ground. Liam Elzinger, a few of the other boys, and as I said, now you put Tristan Battaglia back into that mix as well today. If he can hold his own in that middle of the ground, he's going to be held. The good thing is that Tim McLennan's not playing either, so that's going to be a real help for him as well.
And everyone sort of knows that as soon as Kieran Fulton goes forward, I think a lot of opposition sides start to get a bit worried. He's such a big man.
Can't imagine why.
And a good mark of the ball. So, and that's the key. If we can keep him up forward a bit more, and not have to run him through the ruck, that's the key. And
has he been at his best this year, Grip?
At times he has. Yeah, yep. I reckon he's had better years. He's had a few little niggles that probably not a lot of people know about. But I think he's probably had to play a bit too much through the middle of the ground at times, because we've sort of haven't had that real big man. That's obviously, Benny Cole, you'd have him back tomorrow if we could, because that just opens up the whole forward line and shifts the whole structure around. So hopefully Mooch can hold his own today and take that pressure off, so he can play a bit more forward, Kieran.
You're probably right. No, McLennan makes Mooch's role, I think, through the middle a little bit probably easier. He battled manfully against Ren Lovett last week, but Ren just showed how class ruckman he is. So, I mean, Kieran Fulton reminds me a bit of a bloke that played a couple of years at Belpost Hill, mate. Big Jovanovic. Yeah. It's the same sort of build and just the presence on the ground. I don't think he's as nutty as Matt, but
wouldn't be as many as that, I wouldn't think, mate.
But you're right. Have him down forward would just, with young Callum Hetherington, and it'd just be fantastic.
Yeah, Callum's gives that bit of X factor. When Callum's at his best, he's a very good mark, and he's pretty quick too. So, and last year in the finals, I sort of thought Cal Hetherington was one of our best players and got us where we needed to be. So, yeah, if he can get up and going today, Cal, it takes a bit more pressure off Kieran as well.
And keeping you out of the ruck too, I think. He just, it's a long season as it is when you're a young bloke starting out. You don't want to get crashing against these bodies, and the GDFL tend to have older blokes in the ruck who know how to play and can just, wear your body down pretty quick.
Yeah, that's right. And if you look at the Bannockburn side, apart from Kieran, we're not a big side, and the other guys that go through the ruck are fairly light. And like you say, you look at the big fella at Belpost Hill last week, he was just a mountain, and Mooch done a pretty good job on him, just doing what he did. But that's probably our weakest link is having that real big, strong ruckman, but they're pretty hard to come by.
Yeah, Dale put in the order for a 6'8" bloke before, and said, because they grow on trees, don't they?
Yeah, we've always had that problem at Bannockburn. We sort of tend to breed a lot of mid-sized players and no real big monster ruckman.
Well, mate, you're a centre half back. You've back in the day, you had yourself at centre half back, and you had Drainer at centre half forward, mate. It was just a one grab show all day.
At times, yeah. As you know, you have your moments, but I actually played most of my footy at centre half forward, so I tried to stay the Drainer's way because he sort of did.
He was unbelievable, wasn't he?
He only had eyes for the ball, didn't know who was in front of him. You tend to run him over, so I was liking it enough back out of his way, that's for sure.
Yeah, no. Look, the one thing that has probably impressed me, we've spoken about a fair bit about Bannockburn, mate, is the fact that you're only using 27 points today. It was 26 last week, it's 27 today. Just the names that are running around out there, we touched on your young bloke, wearing the number 12, Henderson, Perkins, Spiller. They're all family names out here. Bath, they're all family names that the families have all played out here, and it's just amazing that you managed to keep them together and stay so strong.
Yeah, we're lucky that way. I made the comment last week when you walk down the street in Bannockburn and you see how many people are wearing Bannockburn colours, and I think, I don't even know who you are. And I've been at this club for 25, 26 years, so it is amazing. It obviously it's a big community, and we're just lucky that these guys want to come back. And obviously we've had a bit of success the last few years. It obviously keeps them here, and they're a pretty tight knit bunch of boys out there. So. Hopefully we can get a few more boys come back, and the juniors are travelling pretty well. So, but I think we just need to feed them up a bit more pizza and hot dogs. I think.
Get on our diet, mate.
Yeah.
Pizza, hot dogs, and beer on a Friday night.
That's it.
Well, I think speaking of juniors, one of the sides I know it was the 16s or 18s that they've locked in second spot for the Modern. The 16s have locked in second spot, so the future is still bright.
Yeah, most of the juniors are going pretty well. The under-18s are going quite well. I think they'll pretty much make finals. There's quite a lot of good kids in there. Like Ashton Phillips had a run the other week against Werribee, went quite well. There's other boys in there that certainly, if we're short, come into this side. The future looks pretty good. But then again, they're all little fellas as well, so we've got quite a lot of halfback flankers coming through.
Halfback flankers, wingers.
Not a bad thing.
No, it's not. It's not. You put the ball out in front of them, mate, and let them run, and your ground's big enough for them to do that. But St Albans certainly will be. Yeah,
that was the difference last week. We get on a sort of bigger ground like here or St Albans. They're fairly young out there, and I think that's going to be the key to our game later on in the year. If we can make finals, is our run and carry, and certainly St Albans helps us do that. Today's
definitely a crucial game for that one to making finals. So
it's a must win today. We've got Inverleigh next week away, which is they're tough any time, let alone over there, and maybe a couple of easy ones to come home. But we need to win today, and that probably set us up, I reckon.
Well, it gives you the big chance to finish top three, doesn't it?
That's it. Yeah, I think we possibly still make finals if we lose today, but a win today would probably put us a long way to end up those top three, which is where you want to be.
Well, you've played in a few yourself, mate, so you know what it's like, especially when you get into St Albans, and it is a different ground. It's an extra half a kick or kick everywhere around the ground.
About two kicks for Chops, Connors, if he's listening.
Oh, two? What, from the goal square?
Well, he always rates himself, reckons you kick 35, but I reckon that's two.
Oh, that's wind assisted.
Yeah, that'd be today with the wind.
Hey, so it's always nice to have the microphone, mate, because all these blokes that give it to you, you can give it back to them. They've got no response.
Exactly right. So I hope Chops is listening. I get stuck in him all the time about that. He gets a bit fired up, little fella, as you know.
Hey,
he's got short fuse.
He's a bit like Tony Shaw, mate. The old jam jar gets in the way. Doesn't quite go over the top.
Yeah.
Wasn't about cricket or either, Chops. So, all right, we might head back to the station, get the promo for the first quarter. About a minute away from a start here. I might even set up the stopwatch, Dale, if I can work out how to do it.
As long as they turn, Buffo's on the ball in the box, mate, we'll be right.
Buffo's on the ball, mate. We know that. Buffo will. Well, you want to head over to you, Steelo, and get the promo and whatever going, mate, and then we'll come back. All right, we're back. Players have, thanks, Steelo. And we're back. The players are now into their positions. Looks like Bannockburn Bannockburn are kicking towards the clubroom end. By the look of it, and it will be Hammond. And is that Vanosta who we're talking about? Dale?
Vanosta, yep.
In the ruck. So after last week, I think Mooch might be pretty happy.
Mitch has got a bit of size, a bit of height on him as well.
He's taller. Oh, young Ali jumped in the box if we couldn't get anyone to fill in today. So, all right, Dale, put it over to you, mate, and away we go.
Yeah, we're going to work without the memorial today, but anyway, Grubby couldn't get a post pack down there quick enough for us today, so we'll just soldier on. Hopefully be back next week and we'll have it back on board. Siren is sounding and game is about to start. Umpire puts ball in the air. We've had Hammond and Vanosta doing the ruck work. Vanosta takes it out of the ruck, kicks forward, goes into their half-forward line. Crumbly's in front, good hands, and takes the mark. So he will settle things down very quickly. Now he goes and plays on, goes into their forward line. Good lead up, good pass. Watson Searle couldn't take the mark, ground level. Ball picked up, kicked around the body there by Huff. He goes back towards the goal square, and it's touched right on the line there by Clifton. So the first score of the afternoon is to East Geelong, and that came up in 25 seconds, so that's some good quick play there. So Louis Clifton will do the kicking in duties for Bannockburn at full-back position now. He's got an option. Looks like he's going to go straight down the ground. No, he's changed his mind and went sideways. Mark was taken out there by Jervy, so he's in the back pocket. He runs and carries now and goes back towards centre wing. Hetherington in front. Fulton from behind. Ball gets out the back. Fulton leads in the race for the ball. Picked it up nicely. Has a player forward of him. Went looking towards Battaglia, but in front is Mars. He is pushed in the back. Oh, I know. The umpire called play on there. Thought he paid the free kick. Tristan Battaglia will run in and he will kick the first goal of the afternoon. And it's Bannockburn now to a one straight goal. East Geelong are one behind.
Well, it was a bit unfortunate there. The East Geelong fellow there, wasn't he? I thought that was a bit of a push in the back, but no, that's...
There was a whistle, though, wasn't there?
I thought there was a whistle, yeah.
He blew the whistle, but play on. But that's that quick move we were talking about before. If we get in there quick like that, it makes it a bit easier for him.
Reckon Kieran was a bit lost, mate. He's this far up. Need a compass and a cut lunch to get back.
Maybe he heard the whistle because he thought he was going to take the mark. Maybe that's anything I think. But it's definitely a push in the back. So a little bit of luck, and that's what you need in a game of football. So we're back in the middle of the game. This time, ball ruck contest. Hammond this time gets the ball down, but again, Vanosta takes the ball out of the ruck contest. Went back after it, so he's working hard. The big fella can't get clear passage out, but he's been looked at and said the ball didn't come out correctly. Free kick goes to Jervis once again. So again, movement quickly into the forward line, going across. Mark is not taken out there, but the ball hits the ground. Lowe got the ball out by hand, so they run the ball from the half back line. That's East Geelong. Back in the hands of Lowe. Over the top they go with a further handball. Simons runs onto the ball, needs to pick the ball up, did so. Got the handball outside, so Vanosta's out there doing some work. Lowe follows up once again, kicks into the forward line a little bit wide. Ball goes over the boundary line. We'll have a throw-in which will take place inside forward 50 for East Geelong. Some quick movement there also.
Starting off well.
Vanosta and Hammond have pushed down the ground. We'll still do some more work. Said ball just inside their forward 50 for East Geelong. Ball thrown back in now, umpire. Hammond, front position. Vanosta took the ball back to the front of the contest. Picked up and kicked forward. Mark will be taken out there, and Zach Smith read that nicely. Will go back. He'll have a look at goal. Don't think he will pass it off, Spy, will he?
I wouldn't have thought so, mate. Genuine full forward wouldn't even look at it, would he?
I wouldn't think so. So Zach Smith will kick from about 45. He's on the boundary line. Coming in now. Kick on the way. Tell you what, it's not a bad effort, but it is just to the right-hand side of the goalpost. So another minor score to East Geelong. They move to two behind. Bannockburn on one straight goal. We have gone 3.5 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Ball just being retrieved by the young water boy there. Fantastic. Clifton to bring the ball in for Bannockburn now. A bit indecisive his first opportunity. A couple of leads coming this way. It'll be handy for me because I can see that far. And Clifton comes out looking for Fulton, who's pushed a long way forward again. Jervis probably took him out of the contest, but ball spills free, handballed out to Beardsall. That's Jack from East Geelong. Gets around a couple, goes in long looking for Menzies, and Hugh Menzies has taken the mark about 10 metres out directly in front. Bit of a mix-up there, I think. No talk between Fulton and Jervis. Brought the ball to ground.
Put the finger out.
Took the finger out, so just pop that back in. They'll be fine.
Bit of ice.
Yeah, you're right, mate. Just tape it together and away you go. So Hugh Menzies coming in from about 10-15 metres out, almost directly in front to kick the first for East Geelong. He makes absolutely no mistake on that. So we have East Geelong 1-2-8 leading Bannockburn 1 straight. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, nice shot for goal that one. He wouldn't think he'd miss that, but
Well, I hope not. We've seen it happen though, mate.
yeah, that wind is sort of going across that ground fairly well there now, heading straight from the west to the east. So it was a good effort.
Obviously doesn't get his ability from his dad, mate, because his dad just hid in the back pocket for most of his career. Old Jock. Yeah, Thompson. So, yeah. So we've gone just about 5 minutes in this first quarter. My clock's working in sync with the other one, Dale, so we're fine. It's not the Eric Nichols one, but it'll do.
It'll do, suffice.
It'll do. My battery will be flat by about 3/4 time, which will be even better because then Grubby can't text us. Ball coming back in the middle. Said East Geelong 1-2-8, leading Bannockburn 1 straight. Kick on the Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard. Hammond and Venosta to do battle again. Umpire coming in now. Tosses the ball in the air. Venosta wins that one down. Sharked immediately, but picked up by Hose. Hose gets out. Handballs to Hammond. Hammond just a little hack. Doesn't really go anywhere. Crombie with a fresh airy. Finally picked up by Cordner Mars, who drives East Geelong forward again. Menzies on the ground, picks it up, tries to break a tackle. He's dropped up, gets the handball out. Over to, it was Billy Spicer, who puts through the second goal for East Geelong. They move to 2-2-14, leading Bannockburn 1 straight kick 6. We've gone 6 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, nice little snap there, just off there to the goal square. That didn't really want that from a Bannockburn perspective. A couple of quick ones.
No, it's it looks like a free-flying game, mate, which is what we want to see.
Yeah.
You know, it makes it easier to call, doesn't it, Dale?
Much better to call Spies, especially when they play to this side of the ground.
It's been good of them so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, not too bad so far. We'll just keep that in mind. So back with the umpire in the middle of the ground again. Hammond, Venosta doing the ruck work once again. Venosta handball gets the ball down. McIntyre runs onto it, puts the ball back into their forward line. Coming out this time, Spiller takes the mark at centre half back. Spiller now for Bannockburn, looking to deliver the ball further afield. His options are he's going to come wide. Beardsley's going to be the target. Ball gets out over the back. Running onto the ball will be McIntyre. A little bit of time and space on the left boot. Gets the handball back inside. When looking to Beardsley. This is Beardsley of East Geelong. And Crombie now goes longer back into their forward line. Reading the flight of the ball. Nice mark there. Zach Smith out the back. He takes the mark and he will go back and kick for goal again. And this is a better proposition for him. So East Geelong with already 2 goals on the board. A great possibility here to kick their third.
I'll be right. Hopefully it doesn't come out again.
So Zach Smith now from about 35 metres out directly in front of goal. It's a lovely looking kick off the boot. Floats across, but the umpire will come back and indicate it's another goal for the East Geelong side. They move to 3-2. They lead Bannockburn, who are 1 straight goal. And we have gone just on 7.5 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
They've done in the last couple a little bit too easily, really. Opened up that forward line. The Bannockburn boys need to tighten that up a little bit.
You've played a bit of footy here, mate. Is that the biggest scoring end up that way, or?
Yeah, look, yeah. I tend to think it is, yeah, up that end. So, up against a little bit of a breeze at the minute, but the Bannockburn boys need to tighten up around the stoppages a bit. They're getting it out a bit clean.
All right, in the middle again, we've got Hammond versus Venosta. Venosta wins that one down. Sharked out handball there by Beardsall for Bannockburn. Wrapped up in a tackle, ball going nowhere. Umpire comes in to have a secondary bounce, and that was Connor Jervis come back on after the finger put back in. So Hammond and Venosta go at it again. Venosta wins that one down again. Beardsall from East Geelong picks it up. One-handed handball, gets away with it. Picked up by Henderson. Henderson feeds the ball forward. No, ball really not going anywhere. Umpire's paid a free kick here for holding without the ball. So East Geelong get to relieve the ball. Coming wide out here, looking for Sam Lowe, who's been a bit early. Flies over the back, can't quite hold the mark. Jervis picks it up and kicks it, turns around, kicks it long. At the back is Melville. Can't quite take it away. Picked up there by Bannockburn. I can't quite see what's happening here, Dale. I can't get far enough out. But Henderson runs the ball over the
screen,
line.
mate?
I keep getting the screens there, mate. So I'm not as experienced as you. But young Jack Henderson managed to run the ball over the line, and we'll have a boundary line throw in just forward to centre for Bannockburn. So the ball in, Hammond and Vanosta go at it again. Hammond wins that one down. Running through, picks it up, Jervis again, but wrapped up immediately in a tackle. Where the umpire will have no choice but to come in and ball it up. We've got 9 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter. So Hammond and Vanosta going at it again. So ball's in the air now. Vanosta uses position, can't get to it. Picked up by McIntyre, who's been very busy early. It's a handball out to Beardsville for East Geelong going forward, and luck's bit of fortune slips through the hands of Huey Menzies. Good enough to pick it up, wrapped up in a tackle. Let's go with the ball. Kicked off the ground by Watson Searle, and he has the 4th for East Geelong. They moved to 4-2-26, leading Bannockburn 1 straight goal 6. We've gone 10 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
He's in 12 and not 32. 33.
I know. He did the same to us last time we played there, mate.
Bit of luck there, but you got to make your own luck sometimes, don't you?
You do, mate. You do. So it's right spot, right time.
Yeah. What was that spot?
I said my coffee scroll's very nice, thanks, Dale.
So we're back in the umpire's hands now in the middle of the ground. Hammond and Vanosta will compete once again. Both hands on it. McIntyre tries to force it forward. Not going to come out of the tackle there, so umpire in very quickly. Ball up to take place in the middle of the square, or the centre square again. McIntyre tried to get it through the contest. Jervis was there, picked up by Peters. He's tackled again, needs to get rid of it, but the umpire with no prior opportunity will come in again. Another ball up, which will take place. So we haven't moved far from that centre circle. It's tapped down again from the contest. Robinson leads in the race for the ball, comes out the back, picked up there. Elzinger gets the ball into the half-forward line, picked up. Handball went astray there into the hands of McIntyre, comes back outside, and that was Melville. He was tackled high, says the umpire. And this is Ben Melville, and he will take a kick and go back towards centre wing. Target's going to be Menzies, and the mark's quite easily there to Ryan Bowden, not even in the contest there. Needs to play on now and do it nicely. Did so and was okay because he's found Robinson on centre wing. So Robinson now looking to go long into the forward line. Out in front of Hetherington. Mark gets over the ball, gets over the back, runs back towards the goal square. They picked up and it'll going to be cleaned away. East Geelong with some numbers goes short, and Mark has been taken by King. So King now just short of their centre half back position, goes out wide, running player out wide. I think that might be who is that? Melville?
That's McDonald.
Oh, McDonald is it?
Yep.
So McDonald brings the ball back inside with a dangerous kick, but Smith's come up the ground and takes the mark. So still just defensive side of centre. Now Smith plays on, goes back towards centre half forward in front. Bowden's up in front and takes the mark. He will slow things down now for Bannockburn. He's asked to be called to play on now by the umpire, so he goes wide. Elzinger has pushed down the field, picks the ball up, got himself in and out of trouble with a handball, goes to Hammond, needs to feed the ball on, went back to Elzinger, boot the ball very quickly, back towards centre wing, good carry on the ball, over the top, ball runs, out the back, Pataglia is going to be first on it, has it now, looks to go back towards the goal square, bounce will be important here, it's trapped nicely, but it's going to bounce back into the hands of Hetherington. Peters runs onto the ball, just gets booted the ball as Beardsville tackled him, and it's gone through for a major to Bannockburn. They move now to 2 straight. They trail East Geelong on 4-2, and we have ticked over 12.5 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Well, they understated, so they needed that one to keep them in touch a little bit, but it brings them back to a couple of goals down. But same thing again, that quick ball moving in forward is working well when they do get it down there quick.
Not sure about full handballing, Dale. It's or grip.
That's very high. Did you ever see Ronnie Pilgrim handball in the 450?
Ronnie handball never handball at training. Ronnie, your hands, no, they're just for me.
Yeah.
Leave it at that. Anyway, back in the middle now. Vanosta and Hammond at it again. Vanosta uses his strength, knocks it down towards Elzinger, but bursting through with Sam King. Gets straight through the pack, looks up, goes short. Great little kick there. Watson Searle on a strong lead. Marks in front of Bowden. Has he done something here? He's just a little bit slow.
Didn't he?
Yeah, the way he reacted. Hang on, no, shot at goal, so I'm fine. So the quick reply is on the cards here for Bannockburn, for East Geelong, sorry. We've got Jake Watson Searle kicking from about 40, 45. And said the tricky breeze blowing across here, so it'll take a good kick. Distance shouldn't be a problem, it's just going to come down to the accuracy. Onto the trusty left, he goes long. Goal umpire's pushed across a bit, as the ball has. It goes through for a minor score. So East Geelong moved to 4-3-27, leading Bannockburn 2 goals straight. We've gone 14 minutes. Fairhaven Home first quarter scoreboard. In Clifton brings the ball and a fantastic kick. Time to steady up and go long as Osborne. Went long down the line looking for, but unfortunately not finding Elliott. Ball punched away from him out of bounds. So we'll have boundary throw in probably dead centre wing on the far side of the ground. Need the camera over there for us too, Dale. As we say most weeks, but Hammond and Venosta, as I have so far, are going to go at it again. Boundary umpire throws it in. Dice throw into the breeze. Venosta gets front, wins takes it out of the ruck, tries to handball to a team paint, doesn't come off. Ball hits the deck. Ball has come free, but picked up now by Robertson. He swings around the left foot, kicks long. That ball's going to beat everyone out of bounds. Here we go. Just forward to centre for Bannockburn in attack. The game's been very, very open and moving pretty well so far.
Callum Elliott, grip. Where's he from? Is he a local kid?
I don't think he is, Dale. I'm not really familiar with Cam. One of these younger fellas coming through now. I'm not real sure, Dale.
Right.
Ball comes in, Venosta grabs it out of the air. Beardsley tries to hack it in nowhere, but it comes free. Long kick for Bannockburn, looking towards country. It goes over his head. Cruel bounce, but McDonald does very well to pick it up on the right foot, send it back to where it came. Looking for Dowsett, but goes over the back, and Clifton takes a very strong mark there. Looking at his options, plays on, goes short in towards the Jervis. Ball punched away. Quick handball up, goes to Crombie. Crombie goes back to Venosta. He got around and kicked the ball. He was going to handball it, but Spiller takes a good mark for Bannockburn on the half back line. Again, we've gone, my clock keeps turning off, nearly 16 minutes, first quarter. Spiller goes long back. Venosta pushes back and takes a very good grab. A bit of kick to kick here at the moment, end-to-end stuff. Venosta looking for an option for East Geelong. Kicks it back pretty much where it came. Spiller's in the box seat, but great use of the body by Menzies. Spills the mark, but good enough to tap it on to Crombie. Crombie just blazes away and has put it out of bounds in the full. Deep in defence for Bannockburn. So 16 minutes gone, Fairhaven Homes, first quarter. Waiting for the ball to be retrieved. Dale will check his... Look what's going on.
I was looking at the Geelong score, mate.
Geelong score.
2-2-14 to 2 behinds Fremantle, and the Bulldogs of 3-5 to 1-3
There we go.
against the Giants.
There we go. All right. Ball to be brought back in, plays on immediately, goes long down the line. Players set themselves, ball punched forward. Clifton runs on it, gets a nice little handball away. Through the middle of Jervis. Jervis, quick kick into particular, but what a fantastic kick that was. He's got Osborne out wide. Doesn't use him, uses Spiller instead. Spiller looks forward, goes toward Peters, just short it. Didn't quite get to it. King does though, turns around, picks it up. That's a nice little kick in the middle. That Melville goes back the other way now. So East Geelong just controlling the ball across half back. Time to steady. Have a look where to go to. That was Helmore. Helmore goes across to full back. So Lee with the ball in the defensive goal square. That's barely 15, isn't it? But the umpire's paid it. So just looking for options down the ground now.
That's Melville.
That is Melville, yeah. That's the other one, isn't it?
Yep.
So Melville goes long wide. Put the hands up there by Henderson. Couldn't quite take the grab. Ball spills free to Hose. He just taps it down very cleverly towards Jervis. Overruns it. So does Beardsley going the other way. Ball comes out free. Gets handballed across to Beardsley again. He's got Dowsett running on his own out in the outer side of the ground. Gets to half forward. Looking for an option. Doesn't quite get where it needs to go, but as our ball does, it bounces badly. Measures clever though, gets the handball out, falls in there. Quick handball out by Osborne, but the ball has beaten him over the line. It can't be Osborne. Osborne's still in centre half back, mate. So I've done well there, haven't I? I think it was Hose. So deep in Bannockburn's defensive area. What are we going now? We're going 18 minutes. Oh, yours, mate. I can hit me.
Right, ball back now from a half forward line. Balls comes to ground. It's underneath the players, but it's not going to come out, so umpire will call it quickly. And again, come in and take a ball up. Benosta, and he taps the ball down nicely. Coming through was Hose. Picked the ball up, needs to get rid of it. I did so, but I think that was incorrect disposal. So free kick will go to Crombie. So he's just on the forward 50. Probably kicking back into a bit of a breeze here, I would think. So would need his very best. Looking for some options. Dowsett goes first. Decides to go long. Back towards the goal square. The ball floating towards the pocket. Hazard hands up. No, umpire said that has gone over the boundary line. I'm going to have a throw in which will take place pretty much beside their behind post there in defence. Hayden Spiller will be the recipient. So Spiller now just waiting to look at his options. Decides to go straight down and go back towards centre wing. Mark not taken, out the back, picked up there by Helmore, goes over the top, back towards Dowsett. Went one way, then came back on the right foot. Short kick inside, was okay. Found his teammate there in Crombie. Crombie goes across the ground. Mars, he also in some space by himself. Top of the 50-metre arc. Just looking for some option. Has one now, goes short, and slipping in was Crombie once again. In amongst the pitch of 3 there, but it was good enough to take the mark, and will go back and shoot for his first goal of the afternoon. So distance now not an issue. Accuracy will be. So Benny Crombie comes in, crosses over 50. Kicks towards goal. Looks like the distance is there. Accuracy is also good. He has his first goal of the afternoon. The 5th now for the East Geelong side. They are 5-3, leading Bannockburn 2 straight goals. 20 minutes gone. First quarter, Fairhaven Homes, first quarter scoreboard.
Certainly a nice kick for goal there. He's getting a bit of across half forward. They might have to check him a little bit closer.
He's been very good for him so far this year, young Crombie, so... Thanks for letting me finish your coffee scroll, Dale. I appreciate that.
That's all right, Spot.
So Fulton's gone in the ruck now. Ball goes up, Fulton Venosta. Fulton wins that one down, but it's picked up by Mulville and swings around. Looks long, goes over the head of Perkins, onto it Crombie again. Ooh, has got a free kick there, I reckon, for too high. Bit of a straight hand there by Dan Measures. Probably not what you need from your experienced backman grip.
No, not 35 metres out from goal either, Spider.
No, you're right.
After his last shot, you'd back him in.
Yeah.
Again.
So Ben Crombie having his second shot for goal in probably just a minute and a half. Comes in. Oh, you've welcome to the commentator's curse, mate. He's missed everything. Kicked that hands on the floor. It was intentional by Gripper, that one, I reckon. He's been watching Brian Taylor and these boys put the moz on players for years. Look, that'll stitch him up.
Certainly did. That was a horrible effort after his last one.
He is very slight, though, mate. A fair chance he might have got blown over as he went to kick it. But waiting for the ball to come back to Hayden Spiller, who'll take the resultant free kick. Fulton probably be the target, matched up to Helmore at the moment, so it heads in this direction. It looks like it's gone further towards Country. Perkins comes up and flies high, ball off hands, falls to ground. It's got there wrapped up immediately and not going anywhere. Is that Nick Peters, who played very well last week? So Venosta and Fulton go at it. Battle of strength. Fulton wins that 1-4, but only as far as Beardsley, who gets the handball out to McIntyre, who then goes forward to Crombie, who's taken another fantastic grab. Oh, call play on, so it's been touched. But has time to steady. Goes in the middle towards Lowe. Lowe has plenty of time, looks up, finds Dowsett. Dowsett on the half-forward flank for East Geelong, now looking at options down the ground. Waiting for leads, the space seems to be filled, so kick might be even tougher now. He's sure not going to have a shot, is he? No. Goes back, and McIntyre has run all the way down the ground after starting this forward thrust, and will take a shot 35 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle, but kicking into that breeze, I think, Dale. So, John McIntyre has been very, very good so far. Comes in, takes a bit of liberty, goes on the left, and has hooked it. So, East Geelong go to 5-4-34, leading Bannockburn 2 straight 12, Fairhaven Homes, first quarter scoreboard.
How come we only got nets at one end, Grip, couldn't we afford the other one?
What's that, mate?
The net's up to the top end.
That's the end you want about too. There's no one up there.
There's been more balls that end.
I think they put the other one up the other end to be able to protect the shore officers, I think.
Okay. Ryan Bowden goes straight down the middle of the ground. Marker's not taken in there. So, again, ball now in dispute. Our players converge over the top of it. East Geelong look like they're going to emerge with it. Ball comes out wide. King leading the race for the ball. Going to be picked up by McIntyre. Got the handball outside. A little short kick up, and that's only as far as Fulton, and he'll turn things around for Bannockburn. Goes out to Fulton, goes out to Elsinger, I should say. Takes his second bounce, takes his third, looks to line up and go long towards goal. Kick was a bit of a wobbler, but going back Sam Lowe, and he will take the mark and relieve some pressure. Goes short. Mark will be taken out there, this time by Bartel. Around the boundary line, they play good football. Mark this time is McDonald, so they've moved the ball outside their defensive 50. Just looking at their options now. They go back inside to Wezard. Good contest in there by Hose. Went to Battaglia. Back into the hands of Fulton. He loads up and goes long. Back towards goal. How will it carry? It's going to carry straight through. I think he wasn't expecting that, but no one has touched it in the goal square. And Kieran Fulton has his first of the afternoon, the third for Bannockburn. They move to 3 straight goals. They trail East Geelong on 5-4. And we have gone 25 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
I guess Cal after the game will tell Kieran that was a good shepherd on his behalf, I guess, there. But it was a good off break, I reckon, there.
Well, Bob.
Yeah, it was. Nathan Lyon will be happy with that.
Toddy Murphy, mate, he's a spinner at the moment. Is that a Corio Bay Health Group Player of the Day, that one, Dale?
Well, I suppose it would be, Spotty, yes.
I'm just making up who they are, because Grubby does that anyway. Back in the middle, Fulton wins the tap down. Ball going absolutely nowhere, wrapped up in a tackle now. We'll have a secondary result. Looks like Ezard's in the ruck now against Fulton, so get him into the game a bit. Fulton wins that one down. Falls to Peters. Peters tries to get a handball away. No real chance to get rid of it. Umpire comes straight in and says, I'll have it again. We're back in the centre circle. So up it goes. Fulton wins that one back very cleverly to Nick Peters. Peters' kick was partly smothered. Ball's coming through. Goes after it. Got a free, high tackle here to Nick Peters. Went and chase his own kick. He looks up straight away, goes long, falls over the back here. Running away with it was Spicer. Ends up back in his hands again. A lot of pressure down the full 40 at the forward line for Bannockburn. Quick ball comes out. Quick kick in there. It was by Beardsall Alex. Not a bad effort, but picked up and taken away here by East Geelong. Quick handball out the back to no one in particular. Tim Lee gets back and probably saves a deliberate there by picking up and running out of bounds.
Let's hope they weren't going to pay that anyway, but you're probably right, Spot. It may have saved him a little bit.
And we've now gone just over 26 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter. Ball to be thrown back in deep in Bannockburn's attack. Looks like Kunski's going to do the ruck here. He just had no one. He taps it straight over back to Henderson, who runs straight into trouble. Made no attempt. The umpire said too high. So, Jack Henderson, is he a chance?
Better than rough.
He can kick further than his father anyway, so I'll give him every chance.
Yeah, well, his father used to chafe when he kicked, didn't he?
Yeah.
His little stubby legs.
That 35 was his father's distance. So he'd be right on his father's distance here, but I think Jack's got a bit more leg than rough.
He wasn't there for his goal kicking though, was he? Let's be honest. Hendo was there to break open the packs, and
he was certainly a nice fella to have alongside. That's all I can say.
You had a few of them. Anyway, Jack Henderson now for Bannockburn. Coming in. Got a good view of this one. So, looking for Bannockburn's fourth. Looks very, very good. Goal umpire does not move. Obviously doesn't kick many goals. It's celebrating very, very hard. Bannockburn go to 4 goals straight. They trail East Geelong 5-4. We've gone 27 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
A lovely kick straight. Didn't alter at all where he kicked it from, so good effort.
And as is standard now, they come straight off the ground, they kick a goal.
Drive me crazy. You just got to play this. Got a goal and feeling confident. He's got to go and sit on the pine.
So.
Is there a method to all this? Is there a method to all this grip, all this stuff, the rotation? Has they got it pre-done, or is that just something that happens?
It's pretty much all pre-done. Yeah, that's set up how they do it.
Hate to do it. Hate to work it out.
King kicks the ball forward for East Geelong now. This beautiful pick up there. Is it Clifton coming out wide? Fulton receives the grab. It was Measures, sorry. Kicks the ball to Fulton. Fulton looks forward. Nice little kick there to Kunska. He looks in the centre, or Fulton's made him look better, then spills a chest mark that he should have taken. He's been wrapped up very, very quickly by Corden the Mars. Jeez, don't say that, Miron, do you? If it wasn't the goal, so he wouldn't have dropped it. Anyway, Fulton versus Venosta again. Venosta wins that one down. Only as far as Beards went to run onto it, but Hose ends up picking it up. Crombie gets a quick kick out of the pack. They're calling for deliberate on the boundary line. I don't think that's going to be deliberate somehow. Corio Bay Health Player of the Day, Fairhaven Homes Goal of the Day. Grubby's just text me. Thanks, Grubby. Good to see you up and about. Anyway, nearly 29 minutes ticked over. Fairhaven Homes first quarter. Ball coming in now. Venosta versus Fulton again. Fulton wins that one down, but only as far as McIntyre. He gets a quick kick forward. Menzies uses his body well to keep it in front of him. Wins the ball, goes out to Dowsett. Dowsett throws it on the boot quickly. Rushed through by Perkins there for a minor score. So East Geelong go to 5 goals, 35, leading Banno 4 goals straight, 24.
Ryan Bowden doing some kicking in this time. So Bowden now, his option looks like going towards Fulton, who is led up the ground, but it's going to be deeper than that. Ball gets out the back. Alzinger had it, went after it again, picked the ball up. Outside he has Protaglia. Looked up now, goes long towards goal square. Hetherington in best position. Ball gets out the back. Will it be kicked off the ground? They missed it the first time, Linky Peters. He went back and tried it, but it's been picked up by Hetherington, who snaps around the body, and he gets his first goal of the afternoon. There's been a little there. But it's Bannockburn now 5 straight goals. They lead they trail East Geelong on 5 goals, 5. And we have gone just on 30 minutes. Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Certainly not a Corio Bay player of the day, that one.
I think Lincoln's eyes lit up there for a minute, but he might have had it spent before he got control of it.
2 goals and a quarter for Link.
He'd be disappointed in that, but anyway, we got the result.
John Mitchell just sent me a message. Perfect conditions at West Oval. Quarter time, Geelong West 2 points, Thompson 1 point.
Oh.
So back in the middle, Fulton Venosta. Fulton wins that one down convincingly again. Mulville runs on right, quick kick off the ground out in front of Dowsett and Clifton. Clifton leading the race here. Picks the ball up and bowled over for his troubles. Ball spills free. Dowsett ends up dragging it back. He wins it out. Tries to tap it out to a teammate. Does. Falls in the hands of... Was it... didn't see that. It was Mulville, was it? So ball still rushing forward here for East Geelong. Picked up by Ryan Bowden, who runs it through for another rush behind. Plays on immediately out of fullback looking for Fulton. Big contest. Fulton does well to bring it to ground, but King sharks the roving beautifully. Goes to Menzies, who drops a chest mark. Had it before he spent it before he had it over the back of Mars. Mars is taken out by Fulton, and we'll get a free kick for too high. I don't think there's anything deliberate about that. It's just a
big man on a little man.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? So Holton play well. They have a look at how Ali Mars is doing. I said there's no malice in it. Just a contest between a couple of different sized blokes and different body shapes, isn't it? Bit like must
have rocked him a bit though.
A bit like when an old ruckman used to play for Bannockburn and maybe did the same thing to me a few years ago, Grip.
I knew that would be.
You don't even really need a guess, do you?
I don't think it was in the head. Might have been the head, but not the wrong head.
Yeah, you got me good, that one. Oh, hang on. I was going to say, you paid a free kick. He got there in the end. So Crumbly takes the free kick, goes to King. King running through the middle, looking forward. Menzies in front, puts the hands up, can't quite take the mark. Ball falls to Peters, goes to knock it forward. Not quite successful. Clifton gets it, handballs. Well, sort of handballs it through. Ball has been taken out of bounds now. Deep in attack for East Geelong. We've ticked over 32 minutes first for the Fairhaven Homes first quarter here.
Well, I think it's in the jaw. It might have been the top of the draw, was it?
Yeah, it could have been, yeah. So, ball comes back in, goes over the back of the pack. Fulton picks it up, tries to break through. I think he's going to get pinned here for incorrect disposal. He has been. We're always right on siren time, I reckon, too. So, Benny Crombie will have another shot for goal. Now, Grip, you put the moz on him before. His first kick was wonderful. His second kick went out of bounds on the full. What are we looking for this time?
Well, law of averages, he's got to have another good one, doesn't he?
Or kicks a point.
Yeah, well, that's right. He's gone out in the full and a goal. So
probably lucky they have been kicking so poorly because they could have this game not out of the reach. But
Crombie comes in. It looks really good off the boot. So you're right, first time. Benny Crombie gets his second for the day and gets East Geelong 6. They move to 6-6-36, leading Bannockburn 5 straight 30. We've gone 33 minutes, Fairhaven Homes first quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, lovely shot for goal, that one. They need to tighten up on him. He's doing a bit of damage.
Very good footballer, mate. He's been very good all year, so... Well, we're waiting, mate. Inverleigh 25, Winch 21. Balbay North, no score. Belmont 27, Werribee 2. Corio 47, Anarchy 14, who said Thompson and West. West are 2 points, Thompson are 1. So we
Must be different conditions in Geelong. Is there something?
Well, yeah. So Belpo still north would be nice. Someone sends through the score because if Aniki got their internet working, surely it's working at Belpo still.
Yeah, absolutely. So ball back in the middle of the ground. As we said, Fulton doing the ruck work now. Ball goes towards Peters. That's Nick. Got boot to ball. Goes back towards their half-forward line. Leading the race for the ball is Battaglia. He's beaten to the ball. Knocked off it. Again, it's picked up out there. I reckon that might have been the U player in Elliott that's out there with him. Tries to feed the ball out. Sits over the top now. He might be in trouble. But doesn't matter because the siren has sounded, which will end the first quarter here at Bannockburn, which will see Bannockburn going at 5 straight goals. They trail East Geelong, who are now 6-6. And goal kicks to this stage of the game. Benny Crombie has got 2, one each to Zach Smith, Menzies, Watson, Searle and Spicer for the East Geelong side. And for Bannockburn, Henderson, Battaglia, Fulton, Peters and Hetherington all have 1 each. Take a short break, come back. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Thank you, Steelo. We're back here at Victoria Park in Bannockburn. It sees the visitors, East Geelong 6-6-42, leading Bannockburn 5 goals straight 30. Grip, what'd you make of that first quarter, mate?
Yeah, Bannockburn just sort of kept themselves in it there in the end. I thought East Geelong were probably the better side, had more of the ball, certainly more of the ball up in the half-forward line. So they'll probably, lucky in the end to get back within a couple of goals. But anyway, that's the way it is. But they're still in touch with them. But I think East are probably playing a bit better football at this stage.
Reminds me a bit of last week. Belpo still sort of dominated the first quarter, and Bannockburn just did enough to stay in touch, and then it all swung around halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, I think that's all you need to do really. If you can get in those couple of goals and stay there, and you just got to make your own luck at the end and get a bit of scoreboard pressure on later. Who knows how they can go? But they certainly kept themselves in touch. So they should be up and about this quarter, and hopefully we can get a couple in front.
Probably one of the most free-flowing quarters we've seen, Dale, and scoring-wise as well.
Yeah, no, she's pretty open sort of affair. As I said, East Geelong had some number of opportunities, and they kicked 6-6, and they had a couple of out of bounds to the full as well. So they could have been a lot further in front, which would have made the game maybe starting to question whether Bannockburn can do enough to get back into it. But they've left it open at this stage. As I said, some good players. Crombie's again continues to flash up at half forward, and is a good player. You know, I reckon Zach Smith presented well today. He's been also good. Huey Menzies had a couple of opportunities. But they just need those guys through their back half. As I said, they've been pretty good. They've been able to hold up across the half-back line. Melville's been okay back there, and I reckon Bartel and Lee have also been pretty strong. So, it's it's a good contest. As I said, that's what we wanted. That's what I think we've come to see. And we'll just see how things unfold in this quarter. We'll know if there's any breeze out there and if it's favouring either end.
Connor Jervey's been very good for Banno. Come off with a dislocated finger. Didn't seem to hinder him too much. So he's going all right. I think for me, I reckon John McIntyre's been close to best on. He's been very, very good through the middle, half.
He always seems to find the ball. He's one of those blokes who just accumulates through the middle of the ground, as I said. And generally, his kicking or distributing of the ball's been pretty good. So he's not a bad footballer at all.
Yeah. So I think Clifton and even young Jack Henderson's been good for Banny. They've had patches, and that's probably all that Eastern have let them have. Group, just they haven't all been. There's been no clear player that played a full quarter for Banno.
No, we haven't sort of been playing in bursts, and that's sort of all East Geelong have been letting us do. So we get the ball out and get a bit of run on them, we can break them open a bit. That's the only sort of way we've been scoring. If we try and kick the ball long to position, we're playing in their hands. So I think they just need to use their outside pace a bit more and open the game up. But yeah, you're right, those four you mentioned for East have been very good. I thought Hayden Spiller's been pretty good across half-back.
Yep.
Took a few nice marks. But yeah, there's the Bannockburn players have sort of been, no one really standing out. They've just been sort of a few good passages here and there.
It's been a good battle between Hayden Spiller and Huey Menzies, I think. So could shape what happens the rest of the day. I'm sitting there looking at this old bloke walking out, at the back there, the ball bloke, and great Mickey O'Leary, and I thought, hell, he's the same age as me, so I must be an old bloke too.
G'day, Scrunch.
Yeah, it catches up a bit after a while, that's for sure.
It does.
Hey, wait, mate.
Oh, yeah, mate.
I'll need that pen grip.
You need the pen? I've probably got a spare pen floating around if you want. Anyway, we're nearly ready to get started again. The umpire has the ball in hand. I'll hand it over to you, Dale, and you can...
Thank you, Steelo. As I said, umpire just waiting for players and all spectators to remove themselves. Well, not the players, but the spectators definitely from removing themselves from the ground. A couple just dragging the chain down the bottom end. We're getting there now. Umpire not too far away.
Grubby just messaged me. Aniki 117, cry 5535. Play HQ is wrong. Well, that'd be something.
So ball now back with the umpires. We said it's about to start the second quarter here. And Hammond goes back in now to start off in the second quarter. Ruckman go at it. Game comes to ground, picked up, Cordemars over the top, goes back to Mulville. He's now running towards centre wing, wants to get back on his... We actually used his right foot, goes into their forward line. Menzies is there, ball comes out. There's a hold, says the umpire. Hang on to his arm, so Huey Menzies will be the recipient. So we're going quickly in this second quarter. Another opportunity to have a early shot at goal. Buffo, get the clock started, mate.
I've got mine going, mate. It's okay. Just wish my phone wouldn't shut down all the time.
So Huey Menzies now, he's about 35 metres out, almost directly in front of goal. Right hand post and let it do its work, I would think. Comes in, runs. He actually started it a little bit the other way, and it's gone through for a minor score. So Huey Menzies 1-1 for the afternoon. East Geelong now to 6-7, and Bannockburn, as we said, 5 straight goals at this stage, early in this second quarter. We'll have to keep that clock going, Spide, because as I said, Buffalo's forgot to start it. So the little short kick in is okay. It found Peters. This is Nick, and he's now asked to play on by the umpire. Not too sure where he wants to go. Got the handball over the top. Running player in Henderson. Also into the hands now of Clifton by hand. He goes long into the forward line, looking for Alzinger out the back. Good mark out there, and that will be paid. And it's going to be Simons who's taken the mark in defence. So Simons now inside Bannockburn's defensive 50 or forward 50. He's going to come back club room side, which is good for us. Kick wasn't that great off the boot. Mulville's in front, picked up there. Osborne tried to get the quick hands out towards Jervis. Has the ball now, runs, kicks the ball long, goes into the forward line. Out the back, the ball bounce. Well, Hetherington had the perfect opportunity. The ball just took one of its firmest bounces, went a little bit sideways, over the top now. Needs to get the ball out. He went back and collected it, got the handball off, into the hands there. And it was Hose it was. It got the handball outside, went to Elzinger. He's tackled, brought to ground. Ball and or player can't get rid of the ball, and he's going to be a ball up inside forward 50.
The beauty of the Sherrindale, the beauty of the Sherrin.
Just don't know where it's going to go. Ball thrown up quickly by the umpire to Battaglia. Snap back towards goal. Hetherington's there. Leads in the race for the ball. Picked it up, needs support. Beardsall tackles him. Ball goes over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in which will take place about 15 around from the behind post. Noster's gone down to do the ruck work. Hetherington this time doing the ruck work for the Bannockburn side. Ball comes out. Elzinger picks the ball up. Kick didn't travel too far. Cord Mars cleans up and he goes long back towards centre wing. Back towards Ezard, leading the race for the ball. Picked up there. Spiller. A little bit of pace there. Goes inside the measures. Got the handball back. Went across the ground. They're going to use Clifton now in some space by himself. And he looks up and looks to deliver the ball. Kick was poor. And that's not a usual kick for him. And Mulville comes in and he takes the mark. He goes now back on the left foot. Goes long and flat into the forward line. Bath can't take the mark. Ball gets out the back. Watson Seal just needs to pick it up. He does so and runs in and kicks a goal. So he's got his second goal of the afternoon. The 7th now for East Geelong. They are 7-7. Bannockburn on 5 straight goals. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
Yeah, that was just a bit of a, like you say, out of character, a bit of a poor kick there across half back, which turned the ball over, which caught the Bannockburn guys by surprise, and a fairly easy finish in the end there for East Geelong.
You probably need to steady a little bit, mate, because you are kicking into that breeze and the ball will blow off your boot.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit tricky. It's sort of picked up a little bit in the last 5-10 minutes, I reckon.
Because East Geelong kicking with it now, so that's how it works, isn't it? Anyway, ball back in the middle. Van Oster and Hammond go at it. Ball's in the air. Van Oster just uses the body, taps it down in front of McIntyre, but gets beaten to it. Ball spills free now. Running onto it, looks like Hose. Kicks the ball off the ground to his own advantage. Very good. Elzinger runs out, picks it up. Nice little left foot kick there by Osborne. Coming off the back line now. East Geelong pick the ball up, go long. Perkins stands his ground in the way. McDonald's kick didn't quite get where it was supposed to. Now Perkins runs across, got 2 blokes to kick to, but picks out Sam Lowe. So Sam Lowe for East Geelong, almost in the centre of the ground, looking at options. Comes in short. It wasn't a great kick. Spoiled away there. Who was that? That was Connor Jervis picks the ball. That's a better kick to see. Battaglia takes the ball now. Looking up at options. A great kick towards Fulton. Elzinger comes across, puts his hands in front. Van Oster back there doing the hard work. Nice little kick to Lowe. Picks the handball up. Ball coming out wide front of the commentary box. McIntyre gets it. Handball's over to Crombie. Crombie's got runners inside. Doesn't use them. Throws on the boot. Connor Jervis chops off and takes a fantastic mark. Moves the ball on very, very quickly. Finds Nick Peters out in the far side of the ground. Peters got Elzinger at space in the forward pocket there. Hits him well. Elzinger plays on. Handballs the ball over the top to Hetherington, who kicks the easiest of goals for the afternoon. So he gets his he's second for the day. Gets Bannockburn 6. Bannockburn 6 goals straight, trailing East Geelong 7-7-49. We have gone 5 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment second quarter scoreboard.
It's a little bit better, but this quarter started off fairly hectic, hasn't it?
It has. It can be tough to pick up the players at times. You don't know who's got it, and by the time you look up, it's 60 metres down the ground.
Some of the skills have fallen away a little bit this second quarter, so maybe a little bit of perceived pressure out there. But
boys are a bit tired, mate. You're in after the frantic first quarter.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's hope things settle very quickly, and that's not for one side, that's for both sides, because it was some out of character kicks.
Probably trying to move that ball a little bit too quickly. And
yeah,
it's a very attacking game, so I'm happy to see that. Anyway, back in the middle, Hammond and Van Oster to do battle again. Ball goes up. Hammond jumps over top. Van Oster just grabs it out of the air. Ball spills free. It goes long now. Good. Smith puts the hands up well, but Clifton rows the ball beautifully. Kicks it, handballs it over to Spiller. Spiller goes out long, looking for his teammate out there. Elzinger does very well, taps it over to Battaglia. He's good enough to get around. Quick handball over top, looking for Nick Peters. Ball just bounces straight up in the air and makes it tough for him. Lowe grabs the ball. Might have been legged there, but the umpire has paid it in the end. So Sam Lowe to relieve the pressure. just inside Bannockburn's forward 50 here, so low for East Geelong. Just looking for his options. Decides to go straight down the line with the Jimmy Cracker style. It's come off all right, hasn't it? In the end, I don't think it was where it was planned to go. East Geelong now coming back in the middle of McIntyre. McIntyre takes the mark in front of Hose. Good time. This is a true centre wing. Another nice kick there. Mark's been spilt. Picked up, though, very, very quickly by Bartel. Gets his handball out. Ball fighting forward. Quick kick forward there to no one in particular, but Taylor had a chance to pick it up. Picked up here, goes to Elzinger. Elzinger now looking for options down the ground. Big kick to Fulton, goes over the top. Helmore had a chance to take the mark, didn't. Picked up by Link Peters, handballed it to Fulton, who dropped what he probably should have taken. Billy Spicer ends up with the ball in the middle of the ground and now kicks it to Dowsett, who will settle things down. He looks up quickly. That's a great kick and finds Ezard. Ezard, big target. True centre of the ground here. He's looking further down the ground for options. Menzies provides one, and that's where it goes and hits the target. Hugh Menzies probably going to be 55 out for goal, looking to move it on quickly. Does it's a nice little kick towards Smith out in front. Was it a whistle I heard? No, it was a net ball, but the ball's been punched away from Smith and out of bounds. We'll have a boundary line throw in. We've gone nearly 8 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment, the clock's on now. It's only a minute behind. So Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter. Ball thrown in. Deep in attack for East Geelong. Shark there kick. That's gone a long way up, further up than it has forward. But ball punched down, falls in the hands of, I don't know who's kicked that. I couldn't tell who it was.
Might be Bartel.
Is that Bartel? I reckon he sharked that beautifully, hasn't he?
I think it was Bartel.
Has
it been touched?
What's the umpire called here? I'm just waiting. They're going for the score review, are they? No, she was a goal. That's a goal to Ryan Bartel, which is the second for East Geelong. They go to 8-7-55, leading Bannockburn 6 goals straight, 36. We've gone 8.5 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter scoreboard.
It's a good lesson there for any young footballer. Rove that straight off the front of that contest and snapped the goal. It was a very good effort. Front
and centre, mate.
Yep.
Front and centre where you need to be. And the ball punched forward, a high kick, mate. The old scramble kick. Tough to defend against.
Yep, chaos kick.
Yep.
So back in the middle of go. And umpire throws the ball in the air again. Hammond up early. Not too sure whether he allowed the ruckman to come at him. The Shepherd, the umpire, saw it that way as well. Vanosta now picks the ball up and he goes quickly into their half-forward line. Smith out in a good lead and takes the mark inside. Wants to take the glove off, I think.
Got the golf glove on.
Yeah, no, he tries to remove it, but he thought better of it. He's just outside range now. Decides to go quickly now and go long. Kick's going to have the distance, but the accuracy is not there at all, and it is a out of bounds. Yes, says the umpire. They saw it that way too. I thought they were going to indicate a point then. There was no boundary umpire on the post. So Bowden that is now doing the kicking in from that behind post. He's going to come clubroom side once again. Smith just taps the ball down, goes back into the hands of Lowe. He kicks the ball back in towards centre forward. And that's, we'll say it's a great kick. So he's hit Crombie right on the chest and in range. So he can go back and kick for his third goal of the afternoon. So Benny Crombie from about 40 metres out, almost directly in front of goal. Comes in, gets over 50 now. Kicks that goal, allowed for it, but probably allowed a little bit too much and through for a minor score. So they now move to 8-8 East Geelong, 6 goals straight Bannockburn. And the ball is brought in quickly from the back pocket position into the hands of Clifton. Round the boundary line they go further. Elzinger in some space, still inside defensive 50. Looking towards Hammond on centre wing. Decides to go that little bit longer now. Fulton has come up the ground. Doesn't take the mark. Ball gets out the back. Picked up inside there. Hetherington weaved his way through the contest. The little short kick was okay and finds his teammate there in Elliott. He goes into the half-forward line. Kick a bit too strong. Mars is back there. Fends off. Looks to get the handball away but decides to go on the short kick. And then he hits his target. Running player comes out from behind. That is Spicer. Looks up towards centre wing but Hammond, good intercept. Takes the mark and plays on and goes long back into the forward line. Not too sure whether that had the accuracy they were after, but it's gone out of bounds on the full. Free kick will go to East Geelong and right on the forward 50 arc. Going across to take the kick is Tim Lee. So Lee now got Beardsall back inside. We'll use him. Can come across the ground if he wants to. Was looking at short but decides to come that way now and go straight across the ground. Player by himself, McDonald. So McDonald now there's an option back at the centre half back position. Kick has to be good and was because Bartel made some space into there. He goes. Beardsall on the run but ignores him. So Bartel again, a little short kick. So they're playing possession football. Mark this time, Mulville. He goes back into the middle of the ground. Had to be a good kick because Beardsall's there. Unfortunately left the ball behind. Picked up by Elzinger. Can't get the ball out as King lays a tackle. Umpire says let's have a ball up. And we're not too far from the centre circle. So Hammond doing the ruck work. Venosta, he gets the ball. And again, probably didn't get rid of that correctly either. I know he had a handful, but ball comes out now into the hands of Jervis. He looks up, goes quickly into the forward line. That's a great kick, and coming out, Mark has been taken there by Fulton. Not too many would have stopped that spot in their day.
No one, mate. That's just a beautiful kick, isn't it?
So Kieran Fulton for this afternoon has 1 goal, and we'll go back and try and put Bannockburn 7th on the board. We said distance should not be a problem here. It's just the accuracy. He holds that ball pretty high, doesn't he, Grip?
Yeah, he's generally a pretty good shot for goal, but I hope I don't put the muzzle in.
Kicks that goal. Looks okay off the boot. Held its line, and he has kicked his 2nd goal. And the 7th for Bannockburn. They move to 7 straight. They trail East Geelong on 8-8. And we have gone just over 13 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, 2nd quarter scoreboard.
Bannockburn just can't seem to do that run on and get those 2 or 3 in a row to catch up, can they, at the minute?
No. But the straight kicking's keep the minute, Grip.
Yeah. No, they're certainly up and about at the minute, and just need a quick 2 or 3 and get in front, and then see what happens from there. Put a bit of pressure on.
All right, Hammond and Venosta again in the middle. Hammond flies, wins the tap down. Picked up by Peters, who's wrapped up immediately. Nick, who's wrapped up immediately in a tackle. So the umpire will come in and will do it all again. So Venosta and Hammond. Venosta takes front spot, but Hammond reaches over top, punches forward to Pataglia, runs on it well. Handball to Elzinger wasn't great, but he's good enough to get out of it. So picked up by Jervis now, looking for options. Goes back through the middle of a very clever kick. So that's ended up well to Nick Peters, who goes over to Beardsall. Beardsall from 50 has a flying shot at goal and has hit the post. So Bannockburn's first minor score. Brought in there. Sorry, that was I'm on the wrong page here, mate. It was Beardsall. So ball brought back in quickly. Wrong Beardsall for both sides. So coming out towards Mulville. No, there's the other Beardsall now. Jack has time to steady for East Geelong. It's on the defensive 50. Goes long down the line. Looking for Menzies. Menzies puts the hands up. He claimed the mark and was paid. Ezard, I think, might have got the first hand on that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Hugh Menzies plays on, going forward, looking for Smith. 1-on-1 contest. Ball brought to ground by Bowden. Picked up by Dowsett, though, who gets the handball across to Smith. And there you go, Grip. You couldn't quite get the second one in a row. And ball has been put through by Smith. He's second for the day. And the 9th for East Geelong. 9-8-62, leading Bannockburn 7-1-43. Buckley's Entertainment, 2nd quarter scoreboard. We're again 15 minutes.
Yeah, they've done that very well. East Geelong then. Numbers around the ball. Attack quickly, and there's 2 quick ball moving for Bannockburn there.
It was.
Finished off well.
Yep.
He's been quite good today as well, Smith.
Very lively for a smaller target.
So back with the umpire now, back in the middle of the ground. Hammond and Venosta. He's been a pretty reliable fill-in for the big fella McLennan. Jumps early, gets hand on ball once again. Coming through, McIntyre got the handball out, went to Mulville. He couldn't get it through clear. Again, players now sit over the top of the ball. Umpire's let things roll so far, but now comes in and will take possession of it himself. Ruckman to go at it once again. Similar position to the last. Ball hits the ground. Hose taps the ball back, running onto it. Picked up McIntyre. Emerges from the contest into the hands of Lowe by hand. He goes back into the half-forward line. Ball bounces at the centre-half back position. Picked up out there by Spiller. Kick went sideways. Was okay. We'll say it was another good kick.
Spot on.
Yeah. Into the hands of Osmond, who plays on and goes quickly back towards the half-forward line. Over the back of Kunchka. Picked up there by Pataglia. And the mark has been taken there by Fulton. I'm not too sure what happened there. But might have... got Jacks.
He might have got flicked.
That'll certainly slow Helmore down.
Is he holding his hand?
He's holding his hand, I reckon, yeah.
Not too sure what happened there then. Anyway, Kieran Fulton, as we said, has now got the ball and he's going to shoot from about 35 metres out. Kicks that goal. Plenty of elevation there. Has it got the distance? No, it is going to be touched through and pushed through for a minor score. So Bannockburn now to 7-2. And the East Geelong are 9-8. We've gone just over 16 and a half minutes.
Beardsville brings the ball in quickly. Oh, no, lucky there. Lucky that McDonald got a hand on it, mate. She was pushing out towards out of bounds on the full without being touched. But still, it's outside the forward 50 now. So, boundary elbow coming across. Ezard, it looks like he's doing the ruck now against Hammond. So, ball to be thrown back in now. Rucks go at it. Ball drifts across. Ezard with a reach over the top. Brings the ball to ground. No one want to pick it up. So, eventually Melville does and tries to break through. Gets a handball out well. King goes long off the ground. Race on here between Bowden and he ends up winning the ball, kicking the ball forward, but only as far as Lowe. Lowe gets the handball out wide. Another quick handball in the middle. Finds Simons. No, it wasn't. It was Huff. Huff gets the ball back to Lowe. Running through here and putting the pressure on Jervies. Gets the ball out to Hose. Hose to Osborne. Osborne goes with a scrubber of a kick that ends up in the hands of a particular. Very clever handball to Robertson. Robertson goes long looking for Fulton. Ball bounces over the top. The race is on here. Picked up here by Elliott and couldn't quite get the ball away. Ball's rushed over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary line thrown right next to the behind post. Bannockburn in attack. So Fulton is in the ruck against Ezard. Ball thrown in. Fulton at the back wins a tap down and puts it in front of Beardsville. Ball lands in the hands of, was that Peters again? Had another shot for goal. Ball tapped over the boundary line. He's turned a bit of a goal snake up there at the moment. But all to no avail. Ball's out of bounds. Going to be thrown in again. So we'll have Ezard and Fulton doing the ruck work on the opposite boundary, opposite behind post this time. Ball about to come in. Clock's disappeared, so Ezard takes front spot, but Fulton just grabs it out of the air, gets a handball over the top, but it lands in the hands of Ezard, goes to Corden Mars, who has a bit of time, steadies up and finds Sam Lowe. Lowe deep in defence for East Geelong. Looking at his options. Umpire will call him to play on shortly and has. So Lowe just goes long down the line. More hope than anything. That's come off very, very well. Crombie takes an uncontested mark. Just defensive side of centre wing for East Geelong. Plays on now, looking down the line. Probably aiming for Dowsett or Smith, one of the two. Smith makes fuss. The umpires picked the free kick out here. Was it for a block? I didn't see it, but Dowsett is the recipient of the resultant free kick. So 19 minutes, Buckley's Entertainment second quarter. Dowsett goes short, looking for Menzies and finding him, but has spilt the mark over the line. We'll have a ball in. Be 20 metres around from the behind post for East Geelong. Got a bit quiet, Dale.
Yes, it has, hasn't it? It's
gone from free-flowing and high-scoring to wins taken out of the sails. The ball's going to be thrown in now. So Menzies and Hammond will do battle. Menzies uses his body very well. The ball comes out the back free over to Beardsville, who throws the ball on the boot. Smith gets the contest, uses his body well, almost wins it. Crombie picks up the crumb and has a flying shot at goal and has kicked his third for the afternoon. The 10th for the visitors here, East Geelong. They're 10-8-68, leading Bannockburn 7-2-44. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter scoreboard. We've gone just over 20 minutes.
You'd almost give that goal to Smith. That was a very good contest there and took the Bannockburn player out, and also a good pick up there by Crombie again.
Fairhaven Holmes goal of the day.
Fairhaven Holmes goal of the day, Spider. Right spot, and that was what happened.
I had to look at Grubby's notes to remember who it was. I might write them down at half time.
So back with the umpire. Ezard's gone in this time, and now Fulton in there doing some ruck work. Both ruckmen go at it now. Ball comes out. Ezard takes it from the centre and tries to get it out. Ball does come out now, only as far as Hose. He gets left boot, goes into the half-forward line. In front, Beardsville. Mark not taken. Well, it's probably something they didn't want. The ball in the puddle.
Oh, not the poor boundary umpire.
Yeah, now he's got to go and fetch it out. He's not too keen to get wet feet either.
Throw him a rag.
Between centre wing and half forward, Bannockburn's attacking end. Umpire about to restart the play. Throws the ball back in. Fulton tries to take front spot. Ezard taps the ball back towards the boundary line. Dowsett leads in the race for the ball. Comes through towards Fulton. He's tackled, taken over the boundary line. Umpire said, let's throw it back in and we'll do it again. We've moved to the true centre wing now. Again, Ruckman to go at it, being Fulton and Ezard. Back to the front of the contest. McIntyre tries to weave his way through the contest. Picked up by Bowden. He is tackled. Again, no prior opportunity there. Umpire correctly in and will have another ball up. Needs someone to lay a big fist in here, get the clearance out, but it picked up. Henderson, a little dribble towards the half-forward line. Beardsall playing on brother there now, so the ball goes back towards centre wing. Dowsett takes the ball. This time Clifton escorts him over the boundary line, and the umpire again will throw it in from that centre wing position.
There'll be a grounding here.
So the ball thrown back in by the umpire. Ball is at the front of the contest. Not too sure he's got his head over it. Henderson is at hands and knees. Umpire back in very quickly, which is good to see. Another ball up. Again, true possession on centre wing, and either side being able to clear the ball from this area. This time, long tap out, goes towards Elzinger, tries to work his way through. King was there, got the first hand on it, put it back towards McIntyre. He kicks the ball across the ground. Now Bowden leads in the race for the ball. Watson Searle not too far behind. He picks the ball up, got the handball outside, went towards Peters. Got out of trouble, and his kick was pretty ordinary and went back inside, and Mulville takes the mark right at centre half forward. He plays on and goes quickly back towards the pocket. In the front, Smith fended off nicely there, took the mark, and he can go back and have a shot at his third goal for the game. He's going to go around the body by the looks of it.
A banana-rama.
Yep. Yeah,
no.
Wrong side for the banana, but this time he's just going to go around the body. Plays on now. Brings it back, but it's gone across the face and through for a minor score. 10-9 now to the East Geelong side, 7-2 to Bannockburn, and we have gone just over 23 minutes.
Ball's brought back in. Mark taken in the back pocket. Looking up long here for Fulton. Fulton in good position in front of McDonald. McDonald does well to the contest though. Ball falls over the back. Knocked on by Jervis. Picked up by Hetherington. Went to the handball. Ball's fallen free. Perkins leads in the race for it. Picks it up. Almost gave the ball off to his teammate then, who gets a quick kick out of the middle. But there's numbers for East Geelong. Bartel has the ball, but he's wrapped up by Beardsall. The umpire comes in and says, ball is up just forward of centre wing for East Geelong. So Fulton will take on Venossa. Fulton uses his body, taps the ball down. Robinson does it, moved it forward, but only as far as Sam Lowe. Lowe's kick goes sideways and beats all players out of bounds. So probably where most of the plays been so far, Dale. We'll have a... yeah,
you'd like a bit of movement from those spiders. You don't want to sit in one spot.
I don't mind. We can see it. So anyway, Fulton and Venossa doing work here. Fulton wins the tap down. Henderson, quick kick forward out in front of Battaglia. He's got some help running out with him, but he's got Corden Mars here on his tail. Taps it in front of himself, picks it up well, gets a handball across into Elzinger. Elzinger drops the ball, it goes without it, tackled immediately. The ball's hit the ground. What's the umpire picked out here? He's picked out a free kick down, to Elzinger for a bit high. So Liam Elzinger now looking forward. Nice little kick towards Hetherington, but it won't quite get there. Chopped off beautifully. East Geelong to drive the ball forward again. Goes in short to McIntyre. McIntyre right on the defensive 50. Chips out wide, but it's too much on it. Elzinger picks up the ball, has time. Looking inside to the left. Looking back in towards country, but he can't get there. And it's found McIntyre again, who, as you said, Dale, just collects possessions at will, doesn't he?
Certainly does. 25
minutes gone. Buckley's entertainment second quarter. John McIntyre. It's a left boot into it, looking for Menzies. Bit of a wrestle. The ball beats everybody, goes out of bounds. So we'll have a boundary line throw in just forward of centre, East Geelong's attacking zone. Is that put a yellow card up there, but it's obviously a reflection off his watch. Anyway, Fulton and Venossa to do battle now. Boundary umpire's got the ball back in his possession, about to throw it in. In it comes. Fulton wins that tap down. Coming through was Robinson, left without it. Ball hits the deck again. Picked up there, dropped as well. Finally, Mulville runs through and sinks the slipper in. It's probably not going to have the desired result. She's almost ended up in the netball court. So, free kick will be taken by Bowden for Bannockburn. Probably 35 out from his own goal line. So, He comes in and goes short to Clifton. Not a great kick, but Clifton did well. Picked it up, handballed over the top. Running around, swinging, kicking long down the line now. It looks like Helmore's in the position to take this. Doesn't quite get it. Picked up by Peters. Peters comes in short, looking for Elliott. Elliott overruns it. But Bartel now gets it, handballs it back towards Helmore, who's stripped of the ball by Beardsell for Bannockburn. So ball goes up now. Fulton Vanossa just pushes him out of the way, grabs away the ruck, goes short looking for Crombie. Crombie does well to trap it, handballs the ball up very, very nicely. Quick kick under pressure, lands in the hands of Henderson. Henderson handballs it over to Robinson. Robinson looking down the line now, 50 out. It's a nice long kick into the square and has actually gone through for a goal. What a fantastic kick. So Fairhaven Homes goal today, contender that one as well. That is their third goal for the day, for the afternoon, the 8th for Bannockburn, 8-2-50, trailing East Geelong 10-9-69, and we have gone 27 and a half minutes, or 27 minutes. Buckley's Entertainment, second quarter scoreboard.
Something about those left footers, aren't they? The beautiful kick of the ball.
Horrible footballers.
They not great on their right foot, but beautiful kick that was.
It's been quiet today, Jai, unusually.
It has been a little bit today.
There is something about left because it's not as usual. I mean, Hawthorn built a premiership around left footers, mate, because they are beautiful users of the footy. I mean, there are exceptions to the rule, aren't there, Grip?
Yeah.
You're not talking chops again. You're
talking
going to
chops
hate
again.
So ball back in the middle this time. Fulton over the top, straight down to Jervis. Goes in towards Link Peters. It picked up by his brother Nick. Runners outside. Runs inside 50. Kicks short. Over the top it goes. Out the back. Picked up. Beardsell handballs over towards his teammate there and Elliott. Just needs to pick the ball up. Got the handball out. A little bit strong. Picked up Hetherington. In and out of contest. Goes back towards Elzinger. A little bit of time and space on the left boot. Wasn't going to bring that ball back anywhere near far enough. I think it may have been out of bounds in the full. Good call. And a free kick going to East Geelong.
It's a problem with the quick transition, mate. The poor boundary umpires get caught out, don't they?
You know, that one there's was a quick transition. So now ball back in the back line. Going to be kicked out there. I reckon that's Bartel. He goes across the face of goal to Beardsell. And Beardsell of East Geelong in the back pocket. Just telling players to push across. At this stage, no one going in that direction. Now he's called a play on by the umpire. Decides to go long, outside 50, but only as far as Nick Peters. So the ball will come back. Handballs over the top, goes to Osborne. He looks up, goes back inside. Hetherington's the target. Ball comes out of the contest. And East Geelong with some numbers around it. Goes to Helmore. Gets the ball back inside. And it's going to be, I'll tell you what, they've mucked around with a little bit. Pataglia got in the road. Pushed the ball over the boundary line. And we'll have a throw in pretty close to the behind post. We tick towards 28, nearly 29 minutes gone in this second quarter. East Geelong are 10-9, Bannockburn are 8-2.
Big throw in.
The ball's taken out of the ruck contest. Now there's a free kick being given.
Too high.
A bit lucky that one, I would have thought. But anyway, it's going to be a free kick to Hetherington, who has 2 for the afternoon. And he can go back and kick it his third.
Is that a Charlie Curnow free kick, was it? Last night.
He might have got the benefit of the doubt there. I think that was a bit lucky.
I think it might have been also myself. But anyway, he's got the free kick. He goes back a long way on the run. So Hetherington comes in. Will kick from about 30 metres out, almost directly in front. He's going to only just have the distance, and he will have the accuracy. He has his third goal of the afternoon. Bannockburn move to 9-2. They trail East Geelong on 10-9. We said almost 30 minutes gone. Buckley's Entertainment Centre, second quarter scoreboard.
A lovely kick for goal. For a big fella, he doesn't kick the ball a long way, unfortunately, Cal. But get him in that sort of 30, 35 metres, he doesn't miss too many.
It's kept them alive. It's the straight kicking, eh? It's what kept them in it. They've had 11 scoring shots to 19, mate, and they're only 13 points down, nearly at half time. So ball in the middle. So ball goes up in the air. Fulton wins that one down. Jervis taps it further forward. Now running onto it will be Huff. Huff swings on the right foot, kicks it out wide. It's a lovely little kick towards Melville. Beaten off the ball by Elzinger. Elzinger goes in. Quick kick looking forward from Jervis, almost taken by Elliott. The umpire has...
He paid that.
He's paid the mark. Jai Robinson very happy with that decision. He understood it all the way. That made one of us. Anyway, so we'll find a bit Callum Elliott now, Grip. He's handballed the ball off to Connor Jervis. Jervis from 55 out has given every bit and has been marked on the last line of defence. So the idea was right, just didn't quite have the carry. So East Geelong to relieve. We've gone 31, nearly 31 and a half minutes. That was Helmore. Helmore goes out wide looking for Ezard, goes over his head. Running onto it is Nick Peters. He picks it up, a bit of a hop, skip and a jump. It gets wrapped up in a tackle, but gets the ball free to Bowden. Bowden goes long back in looking for Battaglia, and there it doesn't matter. That is the siren. So it sees half-time. So it's East Geelong 10-9-69, leading Bannockburn 9-2-56. Goal kickers Dale.
Yes, for the East Geelong side, 3 to Crombie, 2 to Watson Searle, 2 to Zach Smith, 1 each to Menzies, Bartell and Spicer, and for Bannockburn, 3 to Hetherington, 2 to Fulton, 1 each to Luke, I've got Link in there, well, we've done it, Luke Bowden, it's Link Peters, Tristan Battaglia, Henderson and Jai Robinson. So going to take a short break, come back, go through everything that's happened here this afternoon. You'll listen to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Thank you, Steelo. And we are here back at Victoria Park, Bannockburn. Beautiful day. Currently sees the home side Bannockburn 9-2-56, trailing East Geelong 10-9-69. Around the grounds we have Inverleigh 6-11-47, leading Winch 6-3-39. Belpost Hill 8-6-54, leading North Geelong 2-6-18. The Belmont Lions 9-8-62, trouncing Werribee 2-6-18. That'll work well for your grub. Corio 12-9-81, leading Anarchy 5-7-37, and Thompson 53 are leading West 3 behind. How'd you see that first half, Grib?
Yeah, it sort of ebbed and flowed a little bit. That certainly the first quarter was probably a bit better, cleaner football than the second quarter. A few more mistakes made, and Bannockburn are just sort of keeping themselves in it at this stage. So really, it's anyone's game at this stage. So who's going to take control of this quarter possibly and kick away, really.
Well, the kicking straight's kept them in it. As you said, they had trouble kicking multiple goals in a row, and that's probably why they are behind. But they have dominated pretty well East.
Probably that Bannockburn's last 5 or 10 minutes was probably put the pressure back on them a little bit. They had got a couple of goals and had a fair bit of forward pressure there, and had to snuck another couple in there would have made it obviously a lot closer. But for the majority of the day, East have probably been a little bit better.
They have. So, look, I'm looking forward to a cracking second half. Dale, you got some of your better players, mate.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, that's a special comments, man. He's supposed to be doing that sort of stuff.
You know, we're gonna go easy on Grib today, mate.
Benny Crombie's probably been one of the better players on the ground for me. He's always about when they need him up forward. He's pretty dangerous. I thought Jackie Bidswell's done all right today as well. Menzies has got himself involved in the game. Probably just needs to get himself on the scoreboard a little bit more. Ezard's done a couple of good things. It just helps out. McIntyre's probably been the best player on the ground. He, as I said, he's just an accumulator of getting the football, knows where to go, and generally, as I said, he's a great user of the football. So, for me, he's been okay. Watson Searle's kicked a couple, but really hasn't had much more than that he's done. And I suppose the other bloke we talk about is Zach Smith. He's probably been a bit of an influence up forward as well. He's kicked a couple and he made a contest in a couple of others to bring the ball to ground and give him an opportunity. Bannockburn side of things, as I said, I reckon Clifton's been good. I thought Tristan Battaglia's got his hands on a couple of balls. Spiller was good in the first, but probably quietened off in that second quarter. Liam Elsinger still gets his hand around the ball still. Fulton probably, if he can just have a bit more of an impact on the game in this second half, would set things up nicely. And I still reckon James Hose. I just don't mind the way he goes about his football. He's in and about. I'm not too sure what sort of role. He had a tough role on Jack Yates, I reckon, last week and ran around with him for most of the day. And looks like he's got McIntyre today. As we said, McIntyre's probably one of the better players on the ground, but he's stuck to his task pretty well in there.
All right, on to the promo. Thanks, Steelo.
Second half action just about to start now. Ball has been thrown in the air. Hammond and Van Oster go at the ball. Going cleared away this time. Hammond kicks the ball straight out towards centre wing. Bounce favours Osborne. Got the ball out. Was picked up by Lowe in the end. He couldn't take full control of it. Now he does. Got the handball back to Van Oster. Handball goes back into the hands of McIntyre. Outside to Mulville. He couldn't hold it properly. And he put his head down. That's the one I probably don't agree with when they put their head down. But anyway, he earned the free kick. And Mulville will be the recipient of the free kick. He's going to go short, back into the middle. Dangerous kick, but it's okay. Falls into the hands there of Huff. So Huff now from centre wing decides to go quickly and long into the forward line. Mark not taken down there. Ball comes to ground. Smith was the first to arrive. He was tackled as he picked the ball up. Umpire should come in, although he's released the ball. Picked up now by Measures. Looks up, a little short chip. Not too sure who he's looking at, but went towards Hetherington. He's got the ball now. He is tackled. Umpire says no prior opportunity there. And he will be, there will be a ball up inside forward 50 for East Geelong. Hetherington doing some ruck work while he's down that end of the ground. Ball comes out of that contest. Kicked off the ground. Picked up cleanly by Crombie. Handballs outside to McIntyre. He got booed the ball. Kicked around the corner into the hands of Lowe. A little bit of time. Looked back inside. Mulville went on the right boot. Was trying to bring the ball back. Won't bring it back far enough. Going back as Measures. Ball backs into the hands of Smith. He runs away. Tries to get rid of it. Did so nicely. Got back towards the top of the square. Overrun by Bowden. Picked up Watson Searle. He can't pick it up cleanly. Out the back. Cordner Mars. Put his head down. Got the handball out the back. Went back to Spicer around the body. And that is a goal. First goal of the second half is, it was Will Huff, wasn't it?
Yeah,
yes,
was.
it was. So Huff, he gets his first goal of the afternoon, and the 11th goal now for East Geelong. They move to 11-9, and they lead 9-2 Bannockburn. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
I think it was just a matter of time until East got that goal. Then it was played in that forward 20-25 metres there for the last minute and a half, and just a matter of time of getting a clean shot at goal.
Yep. Shout out to our mate Bailey Wall, who's tuned in, Dale, after being...
I saw that in the news during the week, Spider.
Yeah, so he's still a little bit sleepy and a little bit...
You said he was like that before, didn't you?
Yeah. I don't know how they've noticed the difference, but cheerio, Bailey. Hope you're well, mate.
Not a good thing.
Not a good thing, mate. I hope you're well, and we keep you entertained for the day, well, at least while you're awake. Anyway, ball in the air again now. Hammond flies early. Venosta wins that one down cleanly, goes to McIntyre, but ends up in the hands of Jervis. Jervis for Bannockburn drives it forward, looking for Kunchka. Couldn't do it. Picked up by Spicer, who's wrapped up immediately at tackle, and umpires no choice to come in and throw the ball up again. Right on the attacking 50 for Bannockburn here. So we've got Hetherington versus Venosta. Venosta wins that one down again. Goes through the hands of Lowe, then caught in a mask, then picked up by McIntyre, feeds out the handball, quick left foot, snap around the corner, looking for Huff. Huff couldn't take the mark. The ball's come forward, picked up by Mulville, who slips over at the crucial time. Ball stays in. Connor Jervis picks it up now, weaves and tackles, and finds Kunchka for the day. Gets the handball out to Battaglia. Battaglia goes long into the goal square. It's punched through by Lee for a rush behind to Bannockburn. So Bannockburn now moved to 9-3-57. Trailing East Geelong 11-9-75. We've gone 3.5 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard. So Jackie Beards with the blue boots to bring the ball back in for East Geelong. Taking his time. Plays on now. Goes to the far side of the ground. Looking for Ezard. Ed falls over the back. Ball has been rushed over the line in front of Tommy Corden-Amars. Will be thrown in now by the boundary umpire. The Rucks trying to make their way over. So, ball thrown in. Hetherington versus Venosta. Venosta just uses his body, taps the ball to ground. Run through by Hetherington though. Quick kick. Goes to the left towards the boundary line. Picked up there, but players run out of space. McIntyre will now hand the ball back to the boundary umpire to repeat the dose. So, Hetherington versus Venosta. Hetherington coming off looking for a run-up. Ball's in the air now. Venosta again uses the body, brings the ball to ground. Only as far as Hose, who gets the handball out, spins out of trouble. And the ball fortuitously lands on the hands of Kunchka, who hasn't really been in the play much at all today. As opposed to last week, where he was very, very good. But has a chance now, Josh Kunchka, to register Bannockburn's first goal for the third quarter. He'll be kicking from about 30 metres, coming in now, very, very deliberate. He's gone very, very short, which I don't understand at all, but the ball's come off. Beardsall's run out, picked it up, wrapped up in a tackle immediately, and we will have a ball up about 30 metres out from Bannockburn's goal. What was...
Back into the breeze, maybe just the distance worried him, mate, maybe.
Okay, I'm happy to go with that ball in the air now. Venosta wins the ball down. Coming through was Kunchka, couldn't quite pick it up. Hose on the left foot. Nice centering kick, looking for Fulton. Fulton gets front position, puts the hands up, ball punched away, falls in the hands of Connor Jews. He's wrapped up immediately, picked up by Lowe. Lowe finds some space, goes long, looking for Menzies. 2-on-1 contest. Hetherington takes the mark. So just forward to centre wing for Bannockburn now. Callum Hetherington, but the umpire has picked something up down the ground, I think.
Sam Lowe was just lying on the ground.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't know what.
Just having a nap.
Yeah.
Anyway. Play goes back. Hetherington go forward looking for Fulton. Fulton puts the hands up. Great sport. The back there. Picked up there by Helmore. Missed with the handball. Goes out of bounds. A couple of players appealing for deliberate there. But when you're handballing to a teammate, it's a bit hard to pay deliberate. So Helmore's done a very good job on Fulton up forward. So balls be thrown back in. Venosta versus Fulton. Fulton wins that one straight down. Peters overruns the ball. Dives. Brings it back in under him. He's been wrapped up now but gets the ball free. Ball hits the ground, McIntyre. Couldn't quite burst out of the pack. Almost ends up with the ball again. It's getting very scrappy down there now. Players diving on top of the ball. Umpire comes in and says, give it to me, and we'll see if we can release a bit of pressure here. So, 6.5 minutes gone. Lifeline, third quarter. We've got a free kick. Have we plucked out? Is that Hose with the ball?
Yeah, I think so.
It is so. Let's remember, Lifeline, you can't do it alone. So James Hose with the free kick plucked out of that contest. Will go back from about 40 metres. Comes in now. Plays on. And kicks into the man on the mark. So Geelong will go to take it away. But ball's gone as far as Hayden Spiller, who chips the ball into Bowden. It's Ryan. Ryan looking for options up the middle. Finds one short. It's a nice kick to Kunska. Kunska takes the mark. Look for the handball. Decided against it now. So Josh Kunska, he'll be kicking from 55 out. He's on the cricket pitch. He's gone back. I thought he was going to the barrel for a second there, but he's kicked this one long into the forward line. It's nearly taken by Bataglia. McIntyre picks it up, gets a handball across. It's out in front of Beardsall. Beardsall keeps the ball in front of him. Gets the handball through the middle to really no one in particular, but it's picked up by East Geelong now. Melville runs through, gets the handball out wide. Kick down the line, which he smothers and ends up out of bounds. On the just forward to centre for Bannockburn. What have we gone now? 7, nearly 8 minutes.
So ball now with the umpire, centre wing, far side of the ground. Hetherington doing some ruck work. Vanosh is also there. Hetherington takes the ball out of the contest, runs and kicks the ball back into the half-forward line. Ball is a hit forward there, picked up nicely by Elzinger. Tried to get through the contest, got the handball away, went towards the East Geelong defenders. Helmore picked the ball up, let the handball out the back. He did nicely there. Went back towards his mate in McDonald, and now the ball is going to be run through for a rush behind to Bannockburn. So they now move to 9-4. East Geelong on 11-9. We might get some half-time scores too, Spider, if you got them there, mate, and then we get the next chance. But Beardsall's going to do the kicking in duties for East Geelong, and he goes out long to the far side of the ground. Menzies is the target. Good strong mark up in front. I thought he had the ball, and Jack Henderson thought he's wanted to claim it, but I thought Menzies had the first grab on it. So Menzies now from just defensive side of centre wing, transfers the ball back inside, just over the top of Elzinger, went towards Bartel. He went back and collected it, got the handball outside McIntyre, goes back towards Menzies. Menzies on the right boot, tried to screw the ball back towards their half-forward line, picked up out there. Hetherington again, got the handball through to Elzinger, needs to get it further afield, went back to Hetherington, player outside, used him now in Henderson. Little stop and prop, kicked into the half-forward line. Player leading up at the ball is going to be Fulton. Went past the ball, picked up out there, so East Geelong were able to turn the ball around. But again, the mark has been taken. Actually, it wasn't. It was dropped, put down. Good strong tackle there. So both sides working pretty hard. Ball now trapped. Umpire will come in and take possession of the ball.
Inverlow 54, Winch 40. Belpost still 74, North Geelong 19, Belmont Lions 68, Werribee 36. Crow 82, Anarchy 45, and we said Thompson 53 to West 3.
So ball thrown back up again. Hetherington up over the top this time, goes towards Osborne. On hands and knees, couldn't pick the ball up. Again, the ball tries to come out. Sitting over the top, not too sure. This might be Sam Lowe. He needs to get rid of it. Got the ball out. It was did nicely. Caught the Mars. Kicks round the body. Only as far as centre wing, and the mark has been taken by Clifton of Bannockburn. So he can now push Bannockburn back into attack. Kunska comes up at him, but he's going to go a bit longer now. Decides to play on. Puts the ball in the air. I think he was going towards Fulton, but he ran under the ball, and his mark has been taken out there by Helmore. Transfers play across the ground, goes to Mulville, and he's on the half-back line, and he goes quickly towards centre wing. Set it out in front of Crombie, and he picks the ball up, a little bit of pace, gets away from Spiller, puts the ball long into the forward line, measures, and Smith protected the space, went back and collected, got the handball away to Ezard off a step, goes back towards goal. It will be okay, and he kicks his first goal of the afternoon. Ezard has 1, and East Geelong have 12. They are 12-9. They lead Bannockburn on 9-4, and we have gone just over 10 minutes, third quarter, Lifeline scoreboard.
End to end, wasn't it? Then they kept possession all the way along. Bit of speed off the wing there from Crombie again. He's having a pretty good day.
Very good talent. Very good talent. Well, Crosby, I thought we were going to call him Bing or just
Crombie. Crosby.
Crosby stills Nash.
I was waiting for a buzz from Grubby now.
Little Joe McGuinness trying to get out anyway. The ball's back in the centre, goes up in the air. Benosta wins that one down comfortably, and only as far as Peters, Nick, but he's wrapped up immediately in a tackle by Bartel, and we'll have another ball up, same spot. Tapped down there by Hammond. Not very clear. Corden Mars tries to break through, doesn't quite do it. Nick Peters fighting for the ball. Ball comes out. Melville just stands up and rips it out of the pack, but he's tackled immediately by Bowden, brought to ground, and we'll have another ball up. So Hammond and Vanosta to go at it. Vanosta just uses his body, grabs it out of the air, throws it on the right foot, deep into attack. Great tap on there by Ezard. Smith in position, just uses the one hand, grabs the ball, and has kicked another goal for East Geelong. He's third, they're 13th. 13-9, leading Bannockburn 9-4. We have gone 12 minutes of the Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
Starting to stretch it out a little bit now. These boys, the Bannockburn need to tighten up a bit and obviously get a couple back.
The clearance from the middle of the ground's been good today, East Geelong, and I reckon they've restricted Bannockburn's movement a little bit, so they've done some work on that.
I think all the forwards, like Smith's been strong up there. He's done a lot of stuff, that bringing the ball to the ground and getting those possessions out to the smaller guys as well.
Ezard in the middle. Venosta's having a spell. He's been very, very good as Jeremy Venosta. So Hammond versus Ezard, balls in the air. Hammond wins that one clearly. Just goes over the back court and Mars picks it up, taken very, very high in a rather clumsy tackle by Nick Peters, but does well, gets a handball up straight away to Beardsall. Beardsall goes on looking for Dowsett, goes over his head. Perkins takes a fantastic mark there. Got himself in a position very, very well. Transfers play across, goes short. It's come off okay. Bannockburn going long, deliberately steered kick, not probably what they wanted at the time, but picked up there. That Melville running through there. Kicks the ball very, very long, looking for Smith again, uses his body, but this time gets his measure and fists the ball over the line. So we're about 60 metres out from the East Geelong goal. They've done all the attacking so far this quarter and looking very, very good. Ball in. Ezard and Hetherington. Ezard just taps that one down to Hoff. Hoff gets the play to Melville. Melville goes across to McIntyre. McIntyre goes long looking for Menzies, but fantastic grab taken by Bowden there.
Tommy Bath.
Tommy Bath, is it? Sorry, Bath. He's gone across to Perkins, who not the greatest kick I think he's done. They're looking for Elzinga. Ball comes off, goes to Corden Mars. His handball smothered. He goes back, good enough to get it himself. Goes to King. King looking up now and finds Smith. That's Crombie, sorry. It was just used his body well to keep Spiller out of the contest. So Benny Crombie already has 3 for the afternoon. Just sits the ball at the top of the square, looking for Menzies. Menzies measures, punches the ball away. Watson Searle attacks the ball. Should have been a free kick there to Bannockburn, not paid. So it was wrapped up in the tackle. It was Connor Jervis and didn't take possession of the ball, but umpire didn't see it that way. We now have a boundary line throw-in. Ball come in. I think he was nominated. So Menzies just taps the ball down to Melville, who's wrapped up immediately by Jervis. Ball spills free. Overrunning it was Dowsett. And Bannockburn hope to see it go over the boundary line. They've worked it around about another 15 metres, so we're nearly at the 50-metre mark of the East Geelong forward 50. Which would make sense in the 50-metre mark. Anyway, Menzies looks like he's doing the ruck against Hetherington this time, so ball comes over the back. Menzies a nice little tap looking for Beardsall. Didn't quite come off. Quick kick through the middle. Finds Fulton was called play on. Must have been touched off the boot. Picked up by Beardsall for Bannockburn. He's wrapped up immediately in a tackle. Ball not going anywhere. Umpires come in. Just defensive side of centre wing now for Bannockburn. So you've got Ezard and Hetherington over the top, taps the ball into Peters, couldn't quite trap it. Ball falls free now, falls in the hands of Spicer. Spicer goes out wide to King. He's been corralled by Beardsall, but does very, very well to Bartel. Bartel is called to play on, so it mustn't have been 15. Anyway, Ezard picks the ball up, goes to Melville. Melville looking for options going forward. Out towards Smith. That's a great kick and a very good lead. So Zach Smith already has 3 for the afternoon. Looking to centre the ball, looking for options. He goes back, has a shot at goal. It's pushing across. Menzies in his prime position and takes a fantastic grab. But we're a very tight angle here, but he'll take his liberties, you imagine, and run around. So Hugh Menzies looking for his 2nd for the afternoon. He's played up the ground a bit more today, so he's kicked at that one. I reckon that one's waiting for the goal up here because I reckon he missed it.
He
has.
I thought he had too, but
the way they celebrated.
He was standing on the wrong post, that umpire.
Yeah, he was. So 13-10-88. East Geelong leading Bannockburn 9-4-58. We've gone 16 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard here at Victoria Park, Bannockburn.
I've never seen a forward try and bluff the umpire.
Doesn't happen.
Kick the point and think it's gone for a goal. Yeah, it's a strange one, isn't it?
Never happens.
Ryan Bowden kicking in now at fullback. He will decide to come this side of the ground, which is good for. Goes long out towards centre wing. Hetherington in front. First hand up. Oh, Fulton had the ball, came out of the contest, gave the ball to Robinson. Robinson on his left foot can run and carry now. Gets through traffic, looks up and goes long into the forward line. Went looking towards Battaglia. Put it out in front of him. That favoured him well, but McDonald a little bit too much pace there. Runs past him, picks the ball up. Now on centre wing, takes a bounce, wants to take him on and does so. Goes long into the forward line. Measures in front, Smith out the back. Measures did nicely, kept the ball in front of himself, but Dowsett was front and square. Smith went back and collected, got the handball over to Dowsett. Dowsett back inside, they run and carry. Back to the pocket, Menzies with a banana. Goes on the right boot. This time he's across the face. It stays in the field of play, so Bowden picks the ball up. Jervis in some space by himself, just needs to get to the ball. Will do so now. Player further down the ground was Elzinger, went in that direction, going towards Kunchka, and I think the ball has gone over the boundary line and will be thrown back in.
He's cramped up. Connor Jervis cramped after slipping in the only wet patch on the ground.
So back with the umpire now, ready to blow the ball in. Going to pick the ball up. Does it now, and the ball is thrown back. Fulton at the front of the contest. King kicks the ball inside. Back to Dowsett, takes the mark. Now looks to run the ball and carry the ball. Will go long in towards their forward line again. That good work there from Measures again. Picked up at the front of the contest. Well, it wasn't picked up. Was kept alive by East Geelong. Goes back to Measures now. Puts boot the ball. Runs it back into the middle of the ground. Coming up. Mark, the tap on there by Elliott was over the top. Went towards Link Peters. Back inside. Has Protaglia if he wants to use him. Does so now. He's got a player over the top. Inside the runner. And it goes back to Elliott. Looks up. Goes towards goal. And he has got his first goal of the afternoon. And the 10th for Bannockburn. They are 10-4. They trail East Geelong on 13 goals 10. And we have gone just over 18 minutes. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard.
Much needed that one. Obviously Dale, bit better play, a bit quicker ball movement. Those players out in the open.
The transition play is good, but they're just not getting enough chance to do it, are they? That's the key.
East are certainly defending really well, and Bannockburn get out. They move it very quickly, but East aren't letting them do it often enough, obviously.
And I think where Bannockburn's on balls were well on top last week. They're not today, and it's really showing, I think. Yeah. Anyway, Van Oster's back on the ground up against Fulton. Fulton wins that one down, looking for Hose, but Melville leads the race. Picks it up, but he's wrapped up immediately to tackle. The umpire comes in and says, we'll do it all again. So between the centre circle and wing here, the ball will go up in the air. Fulton wins it down again too, but ball bounces everywhere. Picked up, kick forward quick there by Osborne. But ball kept in front by Taylor, taps it on out in the space. Need someone to run onto it here, but it ends up in the hands of Halmore, who just says, get this out of the defensive zone. It's a nice big kick out far, looking for Dowsett, but the ball bounces back the other way. Wrapped up in a tackle, ball comes free. Well done by Crombie. Ball falls back in the hands of Dowsett. His kick smothered. Heading towards the boundary line. A couple of Bannockburn boys fight for the ball, and it ends up over the line. We'll have a boundary line throw in just forward of centre wing for Bannockburn.
Bulldogs only 8 points up, and Geelong a similar margin over Freo.
Wow. So Fulton and Van Oster, ball comes in, drifting across. Neither Ruttman got a hand to it. Picked up there by Jervis. Kick forward looking for Battaglia. Good kick, plays on immediately. Comes out short, and he's actually changed his mind, had a shot at goal, and has just gone the other side. I think he was looking for Hetherington there, but he tricked us all. So he's tally for the day 1-1. Takes Bannockburn to 10-5, trailing East Geelong 13-10. Ball brought in. Pretty quick looking for Helmore here. Hasn't got a great bounce, but good enough to grab hold of it. Elzinger gets him. Handball comes out. King overruns it and takes it with him. Out of bounds. Probably worked out well for East Geelong there. I'll have to use the screen, the cheating. Calling the cricket from one side of the world.
That's right, mate. That's the best way to do it.
Ball thrown in now, so Van Oster and Fulton. Fulton takes front position. Ball goes well over the back. Out runs Kunchka. Picked up by Osborne. Gets it free. Hose now has the ball. Breaking through. Gets a quick handball to Kunchka. I don't know what that was, but the umpires let it go. Sort of tapped it forward. Could be a free kick in the back there. No, the umpire said no. The momentum took him that way, and I think Bannockburn might have been a little harshly done by there. But Osborne gets up, hands the ball to the umpire. So Ball comes to ground. Just avoids everyone. McIntyre goes for the quick kick. Couldn't quite get it. Quick handle of the pack. Go to Elsing, but he's missed it. Ball's fallen over. Great smother there on Cordon-Namar, so it's well done. Bannockburn looking to come back the other way. Watson-Searle picks it up. Feeds a handball out towards Dowsett. Clifton hot on his hammer here. Dowsett picks the ball up. Gets around. Straightens up on the right foot. Goes long looking for Smith and the Smith and Measures contest again. Measures brings the ball to ground. Some great support there. Coming out wide looking for Jai Robinson. Robinson takes the mark just inside defensive 50. He's got Elsinger short. If he wants him, or Beardsall as well. He's used neither of them there. He's been called to play on. Has he? No. The umpire said I didn't say play on, so we'll take 50. Little legs like that would be like 100. So Jai Robinson now. Dowsett on the mark. Try to sneak a couple more metres as you usually would. So goes long. It's a nice looking kick. Ball's brought to ground in front of Anosta. Big fella does well, grabs it, handballs it out over the top. Mulville has plenty of time and space, swings on the left foot. Not a great kick. Bowden comes across, knocks it to the ground. Perkins just paddling off towards a teammate. Ball's picked up now, knocked out in a tackle. Ball now picked up again, wrapped up straight away. Beards with a great tackle there. Umpire said that's holding the ball. I'm not sure what the prior opportunity was, but the umpire has paid the free kick. Anyway. Jack Beardsall now, true centre wing for East Geelong, looking to drive them forward again. Goes short, looking for Menzies, puts the hands up, ball gets over the back. Menzies up the ball, ducks his head. Now he's gone out of bounds, so Bannockburn bench wasn't happy with the decision. They thought it was too high, but that wasn't the case. We've gone 22, nearly 23 minutes, lifeline third quarter.
So ball thrown back in, Sid's just forward end for East Geelong. Coming through Peters, run out of trouble on the left boot. Kick goes into the half forward, went looking for his brother Link, but the ball gets through the back and Lee will see it over the boundary line. So we'll have a throw in. Again, just forward of centre wing for Bannockburn this time. Fulton's gone down and done some ruck work now. Taps the ball back into their half forward line, picked up out there. And it's going to be through low, gets the ball out the back. Went looking for his teammate, or kicked off the ground, kept along, back into the hands of Peters. Again, back in and out of traffic, went back to Taglier. He goes long, back towards the goal square. In front, McDonald read that nicely and has taken the mark. So McDonald now just indicating he's going to slow things down. And from near on the fullback position, he's going to go back to the far side of the ground. Goes out long. Mark not taken out there. Cordon-Namar was the front person. Took the handball outside, goes towards low. He was tackled, pretty strong tackle. Ball comes out of it, and it's came out, then went back in again. It's now being held up, and umpire will come in and ball it up about the forward 50 arc. There's a free kick, is there? No. A couple of players a little bit sore. Sammy Lowe's a little bit sore. I reckon he's
wrapped up pretty hard.
Yeah, a couple on that arm he hurt, I think, early in the season, but he's up and going again now. So ball thrown up. Ball from that ruck contest. Again, comes out. Robinson ran onto it. Picked up there by Clifton. Got the handball through to Link Peters. Took it. Went inside the hose. Got boot to ball. Kick wasn't great, but it's gone forward. Clifton comes across. Elliott comes across. Ball back in the hands of Hose. Handballs back over the top. Goes back looking towards Beardsall. Getting out of the contest. They tackle. Strong tackle. Umpire said no prior opportunity there. And let's have a ball up, which will take place in the forward 50. Right in the forward pocket for Bannockburn. Ball thrown up very quickly. Ruckman go at it. Kicked out of there. Well, actually, wasn't kicked out of there. Picked up by Osborne. He went back towards the goal. Mark not taken. Ball goes back towards the boundary line. McIntyre the first to arrive. Kicks on the left boot. Goes round the boundary line. In front. Mark not taken out there. Or Perkins did that nicely, actually. He was being paid the mark. Looks to go back inside. Put himself under pressure. Lamb puts the ball long back in towards the forward pocket. East Geelong with numbers back there. They'll see the ball over the boundary line. And we will have a throw in. So we're ticking towards 25 and a half minutes in this third quarter. It is Bannockburn 10-5. They trail East Geelong on 13-10.
Thompson 55, Geelong West 22, three-quarter time.
So McIntyre from that run contest gets the ball to Lee in a little bit of space now, looks up and goes long out of defence, goes back towards his teammate and Menzies. Marker's not taken out there. Ground level, ball comes down, picked up Ryan Bowden, had it, lost it, went back and collected it again. Little boot to ball, goes into the half forward line. Battaglia couldn't pick it up cleanly, gets through the back. Gordon Mars did it nicely. He takes the handball out, went back looking for his teammate. Unfortunately, handball wasn't as effective. Now the ball sits underneath players and the umpire again in quickly to ball it up once again. So thrown back up once again by the umpire. Venostra gets the ball out the back, goes towards Cordner Mars, runs onto it. Can't pick the ball up as yet. Now he does on the left boot. Well, actually went the right foot. Went back towards centre wing. Smith in front. Can't take the mark. Measures his right on his hammer. Picks the ball up and drives the ball back inside. Peters stands under it, takes the mark. Now needs to look at his options. Not too sure this would be a good time to have Kieran Fulton sitting at full forward, but he's not there. He decides to go long and quick out towards Hetherington. Good spoil out there. Ground level ball comes out. Picked up out there by McDonald, ducks around, takes a bounce and runs away. Delivers the ball back into their half-forward line, races on. There's Fulton out the back there, the big fella. Also there is Dowsett, so Fulton picks the ball up and put it back down again. A little bit of time and space now. Can pick up, look and go short, and we'll find Perkins across the ground. He'll come to Bowden, and Bowden can now run and carry the ball. Kunchka comes on the ground, so does Bartel, but Bowden runs and carries the ball, goes over the top towards Osborne. He steps back inside, got a kick away, went back to the half-forward line. Over the back it will come. Peters is there. Goes in the hands of Venostra. Out the back to McIntyre. McIntyre, little chip into the middle and Mulville takes the mark. He wants to go on with it now and goes quickly. Back into the forward line. Out the back is Smith. Protected the space nicely and he has taken the mark. So Zach Smith now with 3 for the afternoon can go back and kick at goal number 4.
He's been good all day. He's been very strong holding his position, bringing the ball to ground when he has to.
So Zach Smith now will kick from about probably 40 metres, 45 degree angle, so we get a good look at it from where we sit. He comes in. Zach Smith kicks at goal. Looks okay, but he's left it a little bit left this time and through for a minor score. Plenty of opportunities for East Geelong. 13-11 now. They lead Bannockburn on 10-5. And 28 minutes gone. Lifeline, third quarter scoreboard.
The wind's dropped off a bit now.
It has.
That ball sort of went pretty straight then. He's allowing for the wind, but it just wasn't there.
It's just a slight mismatch there for Smith. Measures obviously up the ground a bit further. So
Yeah.
Anyway, Clifton to bring the ball back in. Coming commentary box side, which is always handy, goes short looking for Spiller. Very well weighted kick in the end. So Hayden Spiller now looking to go back across the ground. Doesn't really matter. The siren has gone. Lifeline third quarter scoreboard is over. We see the East Geelong side 13-11-89 leading Bannockburn 10-5-65. Goal kickers Dale.
Yes, for the East Geelong side, Crombie and Smith both have 3. 2 to Watson Sewell, 1 each to Huff, Menzies, Bartel and Spicer. And for Bannockburn, 3 to Hetherington, 2 to Fulton, 1 each to Robinson, Henderson, Battaglia, Elliott and Peters. And that is Link. We're going to take a short break, come back. Final call action not too far away. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Here at Victoria Park in Bannockburn, where oh, there we go. Thanks, Steelo. Back here at Victoria Park, Bannockburn sees the home side 10-5-65, trailing East Geelong 13-11-89. Around the grounds, Inverleigh 55, Winch 40. Belpo still 83, North Geelong 20, Belmont 77, Werribee 51, Anarchy 72, Corio 95, and 55-22 at Thompson and Geelong West. So that quarter, Grip.
Yeah, it was another scrappy one again. I think that every time Bannockburn make a run for it, East have always got the answer. That seems to be the problem at the minute. Every time they get a goal or two, and East tend to get that one or two back. So. Yeah, certainly Bannockburn have got their work cut out for them at this stage. They need to certainly have a big quarter, obviously. They're 4 goals down, so it's not impossible, but the way East are playing, they're controlling the play pretty well.
Grubby has informed me that Play HQ is still wrong, and it's 7-10-52 Anarchy, 12-11-83 Corio. So Grubby must... I reckon he's gone up the past players, Dave, even though he hasn't actually played for Anarchy, and that's where he is today. There's nothing wrong with him.
He tends to get caught in all of that stuff, doesn't he, Grubby?
Yeah, he doesn't know when to stop.
Yeah.
He just gets himself in trouble. But thank you very much for that, Richard. We appreciate the correct
That's
scores.
I'd consider a good effort from Manicky out there.
Yeah, it's not too bad, your old boys, Dale, leading Lara by 25 points, Bell Park. So, and South Bowen are beating beating Newtown. So,
Who'd they beat last week? South Bowen. They gave someone a touch-up last week.
Yeah, they did. I just can't think off the top of my head who it was. But anyway.
I can't think of either. It was a pretty good... St Joey's. It was last
week. They belted Joey's last week.
Yeah.
They belted Joey's last week. He's at Belmont in the coach's box, apparently. He's with Bucky again. Grubby. Ocean Grove in front of Mottawarri. That's an interesting one. Newcombe only 2 goals behind Drysdale. There we go.
How's my side going down next?
Which side, mate?
Queenscliff.
No score put out in Queenscliff, which is probably the actual end of the score too. Be a 0-0 draw down there, mate. It'd be more scores than the Matildas game on Monday, I would have
New
thought.
coach down there too at the Cooters, down at Cooter.
Yeah, Braden Lim's down there doing the job, isn't he? Rory Nicol, of course, apparently stood down before the game last week.
Oh, okay.
So I was informed today by Shane Painter, who seems to know everything that goes on.
I read that in the paper. I reckon he stood down before the game or the Thursday night or something.
Something like that. So anyway, back to our game here. Big effort needed from Bannockburn in the last quarter. As our weatherman Gripper has informed us, the wind has died off a little bit, so it should hopefully open up the game a little bit more.
Task is ahead of them. That's the big thing. They've got to be able to get the ball and get that moving back and having they grip just to get things going. But as I said, every time they kick a goal, East Geelong have just been able to steady themselves and get that one back again. So I reckon that's been the I suppose the difference is, as I said, you'd like to sometimes get a bit of a roll on and they keep going, but East Geelong have been able to quell it every time. So
6 minutes to go at K Park. Fremantle 69, Geelong 64. 13 minutes to go at Mars Stadium. Western Bulldogs 64, GWS 57.
Gee, this will hurt Geelong if they get beaten there today.
Oh, they'll burn that half a stadium down. Hey, that'd be unlucky, wouldn't it? Freo did beat them a few years ago.
Yeah.
In a final.
Yes. Yep.
In the final. So anyway, we get the promo going, please, Steelo, and we'll get the last quarter going.
Final quarter action, not too far away. Umpire, again, just waiting for a couple of members of the public to get over the side of the fence, which they are now doing. So we should have play underway fairly quickly.
No hurry in the bush, mate.
No, we've got all day, every day, as they say. So umpire with the ball in the air. Final quarter action here. East Geelong holds sway at the present time. Fulton's got into the ruck. Ball comes out. Cord the Mars first to get his hands on the ball. Tackle. Ball comes out in the tackle. Goes towards Battaglia. Into the hands now of Peters. Goes quickly into the forward line. Hetherington up from the full forward position. Comes out. Takes the mark and can go back and shoot for goal. So this is what East Geelong have done in the first 3 quarters. Been able to have that first shot. Bannockburn this time will do it. So this reckon might be on his range then, Grip. 40 metres.
I reckon this is he kicked one from here in the second quarter, didn't he? About exactly the same spot.
Well, he's going to make sure he's got some momentum up anyway. Yeah. So he's gone back a fair way. Cal Hetherington has 3 for the afternoon.
He'll be right on his distance.
And he comes in now. Comes in, will kick from about 40. Kick looks on the way. And it is just offline, I think, through for a minor score. His first minor of the afternoon. Bannockburn now to 10-6. 13-11 to East Geelong. And as I said, only less than a minute gone with Beardsall doing the kicking in duties for East. He's going to go back to the far side of the ground, plays on, goes quickly, short kick in. Gordon Mars comes up and takes the mark. I haven't seen much of Valley Mars. Has he been off injured or something?
He got cleaned up by Fulton.
Oh, that's what he did too, yes. So he now goes short, Gordon Mars. It's picked up out there in the hands of Van Ostrom, and he looks up and goes back towards centre wing. Low flat kick wasn't too bad. Almost found the target. Picked up there by Hose. Into the hands now of Clifton. He goes back towards centre wing. The ruckman comes up from behind, balls it down. Peters was there, couldn't take clean possession of the ball. He's got support out there, and not too sure that might have been McIntyre. And the ball comes out over the top and runs over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in which will take place on the far side of the ground, centre wing. About to be thrown back in. As we said, Fulton in the ruck work, doing the ruck work. Venosta for the East Geelong side. This time Fulton protects the space. Ball comes out of the contest into the hands of Jervis. He goes quickly back into the forward line. Perkins now up front and into the hands out. Goes outside. Kunchka round the body he goes. Kicks back towards the goal square. Runs towards the goals. Oh. And Hetherington tried to get the ball, but it's been kept in the field of play. They clean up East Geelong and go outside. Mulville takes the mark. So he's got the ball inside defensive 50 now. That was a kick up there from McDonald. So now Mulville goes back into the middle of the ground, straight to Kieran Fulton. I'm not too sure what he was looking at. I know Cord the Marshall's there, but there's a big difference in the two sizes. He now goes quickly back into the forward line. That's another good kick into the forward line. And again, Hetherington out on a lead, takes the mark and can go back and have another shot at goal. Early in this final quarter.
Might be just a few metres closer from the last shot he had 30 seconds ago, a minute ago.
So Kel Hetherington, as we said, has got 3 goals, 1 for the afternoon. For Bannockburn to have any chance, I would think this one needs to go through. So he comes in now, gets to 40 metres. Again, kick underway. Won't get to the goal line again. Ball falls short. Again, it's picked up out there. East Geelong have done some hard work. They get the handball back outside and clear through Bartel. Goes back towards centre wing. Mark taken out there. Oh, actually, it wasn't taken there by Bowden. Tapped it back through his legs. Picked up by Van Ostra. Did that nicely. Handballs over the top. Went looking for Menzies. Just couldn't pick the ball up. Picked up there by Osborne. Shrugs a tackle and kicks the ball back into the forward line. But East Geelong with some numbers back there. They actually spoil themselves, but it ends up in the hands of McIntyre. He tries to fend off and gets the ball out towards Lee.
Umpires paid too high, up the ground.
Too high. So free kick goes back to McIntyre. So McIntyre inside defensive 50 goes across the ground, goes out looking for Beardsall, and he will take the mark. Beardsall now in between centre wing and their defensive half back line. Looks back into the middle of the ground. That's a better kick inside to Mulville. That's Austin. And he's now again, he's in no rush just to move things on. Little chip up over the top, goes to his brother. Handball, he was going to go back by hand. Plays on now. Ben goes long into their forward line. Fulton goes back. Coming across there was Ezard. Couldn't take the mark. Handball comes out. Actually straight into the hands there of Watson Searle, and he runs in and kicks his 3rd goal of the afternoon. And that moves East Geelong down to 14-11. They lead Bannockburn on 10-6. And we have ticked over 4.5 minutes. Morris Finance, final quarter scoreboard.
You hit the contest there hard and it was only going to go one way from there, but that's certainly what Bannockburn didn't want at this stage.
No, and you're right. It's, like you said, Hetherington's had 2 shots at goal and 40 out, and you want your key forwards kicking them every time, and you said it's just obviously a technique, a flaw in the technique that's not getting through the ball like he needs to.
Yeah, he doesn't, for a big fella, he's that sort of 35, 40 metres is his range, and I think he should be kicking further than that. But certainly gets plenty of it. He's had a pretty fair day.
He's kicked 3. Kicked 3, so, Anyway, back in the middle now. Venosta versus Fulton. Fulton wins that one down. Henderson grabs the ball, wrapped up in a tackle immediately. I think the umpire will say no for opportunity, as he does. Young Jack Henderson hands the ball back to the umpire. We'll have Fulton versus Venosta again, almost in the centre circle. Fulton again wins the tap down. King intercepts, but goes without it. Hose picks the ball up, gets a handball out backwards. Falls in the hands of Robinson. Robinson on the left foot. Goes towards Kunchka. Ball brought to ground. Picked up by Courtney Mars, who handballed to Beardsall, who didn't really want it. So he comes out to McDonald instead. He gets the ball back into the middle of Courtney Mars. Taken high, I imagine, this time, yes. I think he was So he chips the ball across to Lowe. Lowe seems to be moving okay, Dale, after having a rest halfway through the third quarter. So looking at his options now, Sam Lowe just goes in short, finds Bartel. Bartel at centre half back and chips the ball across into Beardsall. Beardsall has options on the outside. Kicks the ball long, looking for Menzies. Menzies takes a very strong mark. So Hugh Menzies now about 70 out from his own goal. Chips it out very, very wide. Finds the coach in Corden Mars, who brings the ball in just before it crosses the line. So almost in front of the pavilion. Corden Mars. So he's going to have a shot. Or smart play, just use his 30 seconds. Take a very, very good kick from there. But he's coming in now. And there's a nice kick off the boot. It's going to fall into the square. Ball goes over the back of the pack. Picked up by Watson Searle. Crombie had a flying shot and it's gone out of bounds on the full. So it's his second out of bounds on the full for the day to go with his 3 goals, 1 for the afternoon. It's been a fair day's work for young Ben Crombie. So ball to be brought back in now. Long down the line looking for Hetherington. He flies against Lee. Ball hits the deck. Picked up by King. Gets around on his right foot. Pops one in shorts. Nice little dangerous kick. Over the back. Ball spoilt. Picked up by Beardsall. Beardsall weaves through the pack. Goes with the banana. Can't quite do it. Registers his first behind for the day. East Geelong moved to 14-12-96. Leading Bannockburn 10-6-66. And we have gone 7.5 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Ball in quickly into the back pocket. Elzinger has the ball and he goes long outside looking for Perkins in front. Mark not taken. Good read off the contest there. It was Bowden. Runs to the centre wing now. Kicks into the half forward line. Went looking for his teammate there in Elliott. He dips the ball over the top. Goes towards Peters. Peters now sets himself. Has player inside. Decides to go short. Fulton is pushed forward. Ball gets spoiled from behind by Helmore and will go over the boundary line and will be thrown back in. So about 10 metres around from the behind post. Margin at Kinnear Park is now 7 points in favour of Freo. Bulldogs by 2. So the ball thrown back in. Tipster's nightmare, they say. Beardsall from the contest, and that's from East Geelong, goes out wide. Possibly a little bit too wide. Yes, it is, and it's gone out of bounds in the full. So Elzinger now will bring the ball back into attack for Bannockburn. He's just outside 50. Player short. Uses him now, Clifton. And again, still outside 50. So still kicking a bit from the goals. Little chip up over the top. Kunska comes at him. Takes the mark. Again, I think there's still a kicking a bit from the goals. He plays on and goes towards full forward in front. Ball was spoiled out the back. It goes towards his teammate. I think it was Beardsall who got the ball out but didn't have the travel on the ball. And from the goal square, umpire says it's coming back to me. We're going to have a ball up which will take place, as we said, right on top of the goal square. So Hetherington down there doing the ruck work. Nostra gets the ball down. Little kick was quick out to Kunska. Got the handball back inside. Went looking for his teammate in Peters, but it's picked up and cleared away. Didn't travel too far, but Crombie attacked the ball nicely. Got it outside to Dowsett. Just kicks the ball off the ground. Got some ground into the hands of Bowden. He now looks up and goes back into the centre forward position. Out the back. Sam Lowe couldn't take clean possession again. They have some numbers out there. Robinson gives the handball away to Henderson. Henderson to Clifton. Clifton off a step. Goes long back towards the goal square. Has it got the distance? No, it hasn't. Marcus taken just in the field of play, and that is by Lee. So Lee now for East Geelong. Transfers play to the back pocket. Marcus taken out there. McIntyre in some space. Little short chip further afield. Has Beardsall. He's going to do the same over the top and low in some space by himself. Can run and carry the ball, but chips the ball back inside again. A dangerous kick because Fulton sneaks up from behind and takes the mark. So, Kieran Fulton. Full time. The Dockers have down Geelong, so that won't sit well. Ball going to the half-forward line. I think that's Elzinger that's come out and taken the mark. So, Elzinger now just looking at his options.
Anarchy 78, Corio 90, 10 minutes into the last quarter.
Oh, they're making a bit of a charge there. So Elzinger runs and carries the ball, goes back to the top of the goal square in front. Perkins.
Great grab.
Has it been paid?
I hope so.
Oh, someone else has got it. Who's that? Oh, no, it was him. Thought he was.
Ask his dad.
Yeah.
He's sitting next to you.
So what's the kicking ability here, Grip?
Well, he last few years in the juniors, he played a bit as a forward, so I hate to put the moz on him, but he's generally not too bad.
Righto. He's only about 20 metres out, almost directly in front. So young Ryan Perkins with the chance to kick the 11th goal for Bannockburn. So he comes in now. And as I said, kicks from about 25 metres out, directly in front. Umpire's hardly moved. He gets his first goal of the afternoon, and Bannockburn 11th. They are 11-6. They trail East Geelong on 14 goals, 12. And we have gone just over 11 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
About 4 or 5 more we need now, and we might be getting a bit of movement up here. But yeah, we're just finding it hard to string 2 or 3 together. If Bannockburn can do that, they're back in the contest. We're just interested to see now how East respond to that.
Updated Inverleigh, 10 minutes final quarter. Inver 9-15, leading Winch 8-6. So what's that? 15 points. Thank you, Will Rice. Appreciate it. All right, back in the middle here. Can Bannockburn get the second in a row that Grip's been looking for all day? So Fulton and Ezard looks like going out at this time. Ball's up. Fulton wins that one down. Peters grabs it out of the air, but he's wrapped immediately. Umpire will come in and ball it up about 2 metres forward of where he balled the last one up. So Ezard, Fulton takes front position. Ezard uses his body, knocks him out of the way, goes to Robinson, handballs out to Osborne. Osborne goes back towards Spiller. Spiller goes back to Osborne, fumbles the ball at a crucial moment, but might get a free kick for too high, which he has. Ben Cromwell's a little bit untidy with that tackle. Osborne plays on straight away. Goes out looking for Link Peters. It's a great kick. Peters takes the mark, plays on immediately. Goes in short looking for Battaglio, goes over his head. Spicer brings the ball to ground. Beardsall picks it up, gets the handball back. Plenty of time here for East Geelong just to mop it up, and goes out looking for King. King drops the mark. It's 3-on-1 now. Ball has free kick's been picked out for too high. So Bannockburn had the numbers there. Right. Sam King goes in short, finds Bartel. Bartel, true centre wing. Far side of the ground here at Victoria Park. Looking at his options. Told to play on now by the umpire. So he does. Goes long looking for Menzies. Ball hits the deck. Picked up there by Watson Searle. Goes forward. Moves it forward for there. That picked up by Jervis. Jervis gets the handball to Clifton. But the boundary line has beaten them all. So we'll have a boundary line throw in almost on the 50-metre line. East Geelong in attack. They currently hold a 24-point lead. And we've gone to 13 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter. Ball's been thrown in. But the central umpire said that someone hadn't nominated or put their hand up, so we're going to have the boundary line thrown again. So, Menzies versus Fulton. Ball comes in. Fulton pushes out with a lovely little left-hand tap towards Peters. Ball goes through, falls out the back. Henderson stands his ground, picks the ball up, gets a handball out. No real clearance there, so players dive in. Umpire circling around. Says, I'll have it again. Thanks, lads, and we'll ball it up. So Rucks will go at it again. After the first quarter, I wasn't expecting all this much stoppages, but away we go. So Fulton and Menzies at it again. Fulton wins that one down to Peters. Nick gathers, has time, gets around an opponent, now looks up the ground. Gives a big long kick looking for Perkins. Perkins versus Mulville, but coming across was Ezard, who took a fantastic grab in front of everybody. So big Caleb Ezard, who's having a stint in the ruck at the moment, just goes very, very, very short to McIntyre. I suppose very good hands to have the ball in. John McIntyre, who keeps knocking up possessions, goes short again, looking for King. King takes a good mark. A bit of opposition from Kunchka there. He then goes in short again. So East Geelong just working the ball forward in 20-metre kicks. Huff with the ball now. Being told to play on. Peters comes at him, so he just chips the ball up. That's a fantastic kick, and what a great lead it was by Watson Searle. So Watson Searle plays on. Gets around, Fulton goes and spears the left foot in. Bowden just sticks the foot out, hoping for the best. Hopefully he didn't get a touch to it, because I was out of bounds on the full. That could have been unfortunate. But it has gone over the line and will be thrown in about 20 metres from the East Geelong behind post. We've gone 15 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter. Ball gets thrown in. Fulton versus Menzies. Fulton wins a tap down. Bowden looking to run onto it. Peters was there as well for Bannockburn. But ends up with Beardsall Jack from East Geelong, who ends up running the ball out of bounds. We'll have another throw in, probably 45, 50 metres around from the East Geelong goal now. Morris Finance final quarter, ball coming in. So we've got Fulton versus Menzies. Fulton uses the body, taps the ball down beautifully towards Peters. He can't win the ball. Ball kicked forward quickly by McIntyre. Oh, fantastic fly and almost a great mark, but ball now on the ground again, picked up by Bowden, gets a handball out. Bannockburn with possession here. Quick handball up to the other Bowden, so he gets it out. Clearing out here. Robinson has time and a bit of space, has a bounce. Looks up. No, he goes with the handball. Cross to Henderson. Henderson goes long, coming up here looking for Hetherington. Almost takes a fantastic grab. Great spoil there by Lee at the end just to knock him off balance and put the ball over the line. Ideal spot for a commentator, Dale.
Absolutely, it's an ideal spot, Spider.
Right in front of the commentary box, centre wing here. Ball to be thrown in. Ezard and Fulton both shielding their eyes from the sun. Ball comes in. Wins it down to Jervis. Jervis throws it on the right foot, only as far as King for East Geelong. He goes down looking for Huff, who Menzies leads in the race, but tapped over beautifully there. Bowden handballs over to Henderson, but it's a little bit astray and has gone out of bounds. We'll have another boundary line throw in. We've gone 16 and a half minutes. Morris Finance final quarter. So East Geelong holding a 4-goal lead over the home side, Bannockburn.
So ball thrown back in on the half-forward line. Fulton gets to his front, picked up there Jervis, little kick, didn't travel too far, went back towards the centre-forward. Nice bit of work there from Watson Searle, goes to Mulville, goes out looking for Smith now, out in front of Measures. Both players running the ball back towards the boundary line. Neither player prepared to give it away, but it's worked out that Bowden has been able to get in front of them, pick the ball up, got the ball out. Unfortunately, ball has run over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw-in which will take place out in the forward 50. For East Geelong, so still doing a fair bit of the attacking here. Ball thrown back in quickly by the umpire. Menzies doing the ruck work. Ball comes down into the hands there of Robinson. Got boot to ball, and that was Spiller. Ball, that was good work there from Osborne, I think it was. It went back with the flight of the ball, and he has taken the mark. So his options further up the field, he hasn't got too many, and Ezard just sitting back behind the ball, so they'll need to be careful if they go long. That's a good kick, low and flat inside. Ball goes back inside. Now Kunchka ends up with it. So he's a fair way up the field. I'm not unless he's changed position. Across the ground they go. Switch of the play. Ends up in the hands there of Bath. Got the handball out the back. Running player is Spiller. Over the top to Battaglia. Battaglia looks up. Goes back to Henderson. The short kick out wide will find Beardsall. So Beardsall now can carry the ball if he wants to. Decides to go now. Looks up into the forward line. Goes looking towards his teammate in Hetherington. Up in front. Can't take the mark at the front of the pack. Cord Mars goes out the back. Went back towards Ezard. He picks the ball up. A little chip across the ground and numbers out there. And again, mark has been taken. Spicer goes quickly. Missed his target. Into the hands now of Osborne. Runs inside 50. Goes long back towards the square. Over the back it will run and run through for a minor score. So his first score of the afternoon, and it is 11-7 now to Bannockburn, 14-12 to East Geelong, and we're going towards 18 and a half minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
Ball to be brought back in. Short little kick to Beardsall. Beardsall marks about 40 metres out, or 35 metres out from his own goal here. Looking at options. Decides to chip another one out wide and has too much on it. Goes over the back of Mulville and runs out of bounds for a boundary line throw-in. His first mistake he's made pretty much all day, Jack Beardsall. He's been very, very good. So the boundary umpire has the ball. As the clock's about to tick over 90 minutes in the Morris Finance final quarter. Ball comes in. We've got Ezard versus Fulton. Fulton wins that one down again. Falls to Hose. Hose looks up at his options, just decides to go long looking for Hetherington. Hetherington takes a fantastic grab in the pocket. That really is a fantastic mark taken by young Cal Hetherington. So he'll have his third shot at goal for this quarter.
Take a very good kick from there, Spider.
Yeah. At least she's probably in range, though. Grip.
Yeah, he'll get the distance okay.
So Hetherington comes in very, very tight. He goes the banana, but it's kicked out of bounds on the full. Probably would have loved that one, wouldn't he? So 9.5 minutes, final quarter here. Morris Finance scoreboard sees East Geelong 14-12 leading Bannockburn 11-7. Judging by the last quarter, you wouldn't think there'd be more than 10 minutes to go. I think the first quarter had a bit of length in it because Ali Mars came off. So I added a couple of minutes. So Jack Beardsall now with the free kick. It just spears the ball in and falls in the hands of Lowe, who picks it up beautifully, handballs the ball out, running away with it now, East Geelong. Looking long down the line, no one really kicked to, and hits the bonnet of a car parked at centre wing. Never usually in danger out in centre wing. It's usually behind the goals you have trouble. But anyway, Bannockburn get a chance to go forward again. Ball comes in. Is that Bowden with the ball?
Yep.
Yes. So Ryan Bowden to bring the ball in. Goes very, very long, looking for Kunchka. He sets himself up. Helmore comes with the big fist, punches the ball away. We'll have a boundary line throw-in, about 55 metres out from the Bannockburn goal, who, to say they need one right now, would be probably the Captain Obvious understatement of the day. So, about to tick over 21 minutes, the Morris Finance final quarter here at Victoria Park. Very crucial game for both sides. Bannockburn with probably one last roll of the dice. They get one out of here, the game comes alive again. So it's Fulton versus Venosa. Fulton just whacks the ball forward about 20 metres, but Lowe's in the way. He couldn't quite take it. Robinson runs through, breaks through a pack, swings around on the left and has
missed.
All that fantastic work by Jai Robinson. Could have been our Corio Bay Health goal of the day there, but unfortunately couldn't quite finish off like you'd hoped to.
So Beardsall now doing the kicking in, and again he goes long and outside 50, Sam Lowe on his mark, or on his chest. He takes the mark and plays on outside to McIntyre, and he goes on the left boot looking further afield, and he will find Dowsett out there. So Dowsett, little chip up over the top again, running players as King, and into some space, and he takes the mark. So they've moved the ball pretty nicely now. The next one had to hit the target and unfortunately just missed Crombie, and the ball runs over the boundary line, and we will have a throw in forward pocket area for the East Geelong side. So the ball now thrown back in by the umpire. Menzies used his body. Ball comes out the back into the hands of Dowsett once again. Goes back towards the centre forward position. Osborne does nicely. Got a ball to ground. Picked up out there. Going to be run away there by Elliott. Got the handball back inside. Got the 1-2. So now he's a little bit of space. Kicks back towards Osborne and he takes the mark on or just forward of or defensive side of centre wing. So Osborne now is looking to kick the ball long. Goes down field. Hose in some space, takes the mark. Can reel and go now. Goes looking towards Hetherington. He's in front, and this time he's in range and can go back and try and kick his fourth goal.
He's presented well today, hasn't he?
He has. So Hetherington now. From about 25 metres out, comes in and kicks a goal. Oh, he's allowed for the breeze, but the breeze ain't there, and he's kicked a minor score. 11-9 now to Bannockburn, 14-12 to East Geelong, and we have gone just on 23 minutes, final quarter.
Ball brought back in quickly, marked by Bartel, goes quickly over the top. East Geelong kicked the ball long down the line, looking for Dowsett, but he's outmanoeuvred beautifully there by Ryan Bowden. Bowden looking to move the ball quickly, can probably come back in the centre, but goes long. Over the back of Peters, lands in the hands of Helmore, who gets the ball forward, but another turnover here. Bannockburn with a chance to attack again. Peters runs at it, but he's beaten for the ball. That was by Bartel. Bartel feeds it out wide, running through the middle court in the Mars. Goes long and wide, but Luke Bowden is in the way. And he brings the ball back into the centre, finds Hayden Spiller. Spiller's got measures across the ground, that's where he heads, and if he turns some plays on, he's got Jack Henderson. He decides to go a bit shorter and finds Connor Jervis. Jervis now uses Henderson. So Jack Henderson can run, he does. Delivers the ball to Fulton, goes over the back. Kunchka takes the ball and kicks long into the forward line. Good coast-to-coast move. Hetherington with a great fly. Umpire's whistles are scary. The netball whistles. Picks the ball up. Gets the ball to King. King goes very well. Bartel very well to Sam Lowe. Lowe looking forward for... That's a great mark there by Watson Searle. So, well, he's done something there. I don't think he's injured himself, has he? Just might have landed awkwardly. So Watson Searle... Stretched the hammy. Well, it must publicise, aren't they? Or the groin, yeah. Anyway, Bartel with the ball now, centre wing. Goes long, looking for Dowsett or Menzies. Beaten to him by Osborne, who's done a fantastic job there. It was Bar, sorry, apologies. But ball coming back towards Lowe. Fulton puts in the big yards and knocks the ball over the line. Watson Searle comes gingerly to the boundary line. Can't afford to lose him this late in the season, Dale. Maybe just precautionary.
Might have fell a little niggle there and decided enough's enough.
Enough's enough. I'm going to get the showers first for the hot water still there. So ball to be thrown back in. Menzies to do battle with Fulton. Fulton wins. That's a great little tap over the top. Unfortunately, Elzinga ran over the ball. Falls to Dowsett. Dowsett looks up what he's got towards Smith. That's a fantastic kick and what a great lead into space. I do enjoy this game, mate. All these haircuts. Dowsett stands out beautifully with his beautiful haircut. Right? So, Zach Smith, who both Dale and Grip have sung his praises for his work ethic in the forward 50, has a chance now to kick his fourth. He has 3-3 for the afternoon. with 25 and a half minutes. Morris Finance final quarter.
Giants have beaten the Bulldogs by 5 points.
Giants. Well, I picked the Giants at least, so that's one I've got. In comes Zach Smith, kicking from about 30, pretty much directly in front. Ball hits the boot pretty well. The goal umpire exaggerates where it's gone, and said it was a behind. All the other players thought it was a goal. But anyway, so that's 3-4 to Zach Smith for the afternoon. We have Geelong 97 leading Bannockburn 75. We've gone 26 minutes. Morris Finance final quarter scoreboard.
The ball is kicked in. It's actually a long kick in. I was just checking something on the phone, Matt.
I know what you're doing.
Not a good phone user, but we're trying to find some scores just around the local stuff, Spider, so we can get some updates there. There's a couple of close games.
Yeah, 26 minutes, 26 and a half minutes. Inverleigh 11-18, Winch 10-10. So that's that one update, mate. I'll see if I can get any others that are updated.
Henderson now gives the ball, goes back into the middle of the ground. Dangerous kicks. The mark has been taken there by Van Oster. Handballs over to Crombie. Crombie goes quickly back into the forward line. Bath front position. Ball gets out the back again. Picked up there by Henderson once again. Goes back towards the middle of the ground. Contest required. Elzinga does that. Gets the ball back by hand from Hammond. His little kick forward. Unfortunately, he can't find a target. Well, has found a target, but it's an East Geelong one, and that was marked by Spicer. So he goes across the ground and finds McIntyre again. Not too sure how many possessions he's had, but he's probably had 35, I reckon. Ball quickly goes forward into the hands of King, and King has taken the mark. So King now just asking players to come up and present to him, I think. I'm not too sure what his indication there was there. Decides instead just to go wide because Dowsett's in some space by himself. He plays on. Short kick again. Smith on a fast lead. Measures from behind. Umpire said there's an infringement there, and Zach Smith will go and try and square the ledger away from himself and try and kick his 4th goal of the afternoon.
Belmont 105, Werribee 78. There's no... I don't know if the Anarchy score's right, and it says Anarchy 99, Cryer 121, but I'm sure Grubby will have to...
Siren has sounded here, so the result is inevitable anyway. East Geelong will win the game of football. Can Zach Smith kick his 4th of the afternoon? We will soon find out. So he's going to take all the time. The only thing he can't do now is use that little bit of extra space and run sideways. Umpire standing right behind him. So Smith comes in to kick goal number 4, kicks that goal, and I reckon he might have put that out of bounds, and I fully has, so he won't trouble the scoreboard again. So it will be victory to East Geelong, 14-13-97. They will defeat Bannockburn 11-9-75. Goal kickers for the day, 3 each to Crombie, Smith and Watson Searle for East Geelong, with Huff, Menzies, Ezard, Bartell and Spicer all kicking 1 each, and for Bannockburn 3 to Hetherington, 2 to Fulton, 1 each to Robinson, Henderson, Battaglia, Perkins, Elliott and Link Peters. We'll take a short break, come back, hopefully have final scores from around the league this afternoon. You're listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.
Thanks, mate. All right, back here at Victoria Park in Bannockburn, which saw East Geelong emerge 22-point Victoria. I'll try again.
They're winners.
Winners, yeah. 14-13-97 to Bannockburn 11-9-75. Gents, obviously with no Grubby here, we don't have a Hotham Hotel Player of the Day, so Grip's looking very happy about that because he wasn't really watching much of the game, was he? Eh?
From what I saw, it was the East Geelong had 3 or 4 really dominant players, and Bannockburn just couldn't get on top of them. They couldn't run over them. East had their answer every time. They looked like threatening, and East always got that goal back. So probably from quarter time they kept that 3 or 4 goal margin throughout the rest of the day. So, but if we did have an award, I think there's probably no doubt that I think Josh McIntyre had heaps of the ball. I was pretty happy with Jack Beardshill in the back flank, back pocket.
Yeah.
He had a lot of the ball. Ben Crombie was good in the first half, but then he sort of got taken out of it. I really liked Zach Smith's game. He was awesome. Just the way he protected the ball and got the ball to the ground. And probably, the best player for Bannockburn. No one really stood out, but probably Cal Hetherington was my best for them. So, yeah, Nick Peters, he gets a lot of the ball. You probably don't see a lot of the stuff he does, but he's under every pack and getting those quick handballs out. Connor was good early, but, yeah, they were just beaten. East were just too good from today.
A bit different to last week's spot, as I said, where Bannockburn really controlled the game. Today they looked like they were going to threaten a number of times, but East Geelong just held their own. They were really confident behind the ball, and as I said, they just won. They won possession of the ball. They never let Bannockburn get a roll. They sort of kicked one, maybe got the second, but then they just answered straight away. So in that respect, East Geelong probably played a little bit of footy like we saw them early in the season. Had that little run where they had a lot of players out, but starting to filter those players back through now has made a difference to them. And obviously their back line was pretty short and depleted there at one stage, but having guys like McIntyre back in there, we know that Helmore has been out and he's back in again. It was good to see McDonald. I thought he was a good player back there as well. So they're starting to get their men back, and to their credit, without their ruckman, Venosta, I thought did quite a good job in the middle of the ground.
Did a really good job, I thought.
Just put his body in where it needed to be.
Old style, didn't he?
Yep.
Sort of use his body. It reminded me a lot of Paul Welsh back in the day, where he used to use his body and grab the ball out of the air and either handballed it away or just threw it on the boot and kicked it as far forward as he could. So I thought he was very, very good. You're pretty much right, Grip. They're probably the 4 that I had for East Geelong. Said Banner, look, I think Bowden was good down back again. He was very good last week. But I reckon that the difference this week, Dale, was Bannockburn's half-forward line was almost non-existent today. Whereas last week, everything got fed through them, and they were grabbing everything, and that's where they controlled the game from Bellpost Hill. Whereas this week, I just didn't think there was much there. They just couldn't get the ball down there. But that, as you said, is probably the pressure that East Geelong's backs were putting on as they're getting their back 6 back. Yeah,
that's definitely made a difference.
Anyway, I've got a final score here. Corio 109 have defeated Anarchy 93. So that's from Grubby.
That's a great effort from Anarchy. As I said, at the start of the day, I wouldn't have thought that would have been as that close, but they've obviously lifted for the occasion out there for the boys.
Absolutely.
Might have had them out of the club rooms and ruin on the fence, but
maybe a couple of them played.
Might have been substitutes, late substitutes.
Inverleigh 12-19 have defeated Winch 10-11, so what's that, 2 goals, 8, so that's 20 points there.
Yeah, I would have thought that would have blown out a bit more than that too.
Yeah, but, as we said, Winch are going to push sides, and they push sides, but they just don't quite get the job done in the end.
Well, having a couple back was obviously not quite enough for them today.
Yeah, well, Bellpost still 124 defeated East Geelong 40.
North
Geelong. I'm going well, aren't I?
Yep.
Lucky Grubby's not here, mate. He would have slapped me by now. Belmont 106, lead Werribee 78. And, yeah, Thompson 95 have defeated West 41. So, opens up the draw for next week, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Probably doesn't change the top lot at this stage.
No.
I wouldn't think. Just a little bit of space between second and third. Third and fourth.
Third and fourth, a game. It'll be a game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you look at the ladder, you say, look, Thompson have won, they're 52, Belpost still 48. Well, they've already updated the ladder. This is good. East Geelong 44, but then again, Inverleigh have won and they haven't put that up there. So Inverleigh will probably go to fourth on 44. So you'll have Thompson 52, Belpost still 48. East Geelong and Inverleigh will be on 44 with Inverleigh third, East Geelong fourth, Bannockburn 40. and then Werribee on 36. So you'd think on today, with Werribee's run home, the final 5 might be set, but in which order has still got a bit to play out, I reckon.
Well, as I said, they do play better at home, Werribee, and that there's probably their only positive out of it. The next 3 games, they've actually got Belpost Hill and Inverleigh last game both at home.
Mm-hmm.
So they're still not without a chance, and I suppose that then leads to what do we do next weekend? We've got Werribee and Belpost Hill down there, or we've got Inverleigh and Bannockburn, the old crosstown rivals there. We've seen Bannockburn twice in a row.
Yep, and we've seen Belpost Hill 2 weeks in a row, then we've had them off this week. So look, the games are next week. This is what we've got, mate. You've got Anarchy and West, you've got Inverleigh Banno, you've got North and East, Thompson Belmont, Werribee, Belpost Hill, and Winch Corio are your games next week. So
you're probably not going to go Winch Corio because it has no bearing on the finals football.
No, that's right.
So it's either we go and watch Inverleigh and Bannockburn, or we go down the road.
Yeah, that are the options. Yeah.
To me, I don't care where we go.
No, neither do I really. Grubby, what do you reckon? Oh, you're not here.
I know Grubby was saying.
I know he'll want to go.
Well, you did go to Werribee once, mate, and it was a schmozzle of a game. And Werribee did beat Belpost Hill earlier in the year. And this is their last gasp, mate, so I reckon that's where we might head.
Right.
I reckon we go to Werribee, and do we have to give the boys directions how to get to Werribee?
We're just going to tell Jules to leave at 12 o'clock or a bit before 12 o'clock.
Just
past 11.
Leave Friday night.
Make sure you wind the rubber bands up before you come out of the stop.
Leave Friday night and take your passport.
Hope for a south wind.
Like where I live, mate, you get the wrong wind, you get that hers blowing across, mate. With it, you get that east. Oh, Grubby, you beauty. I won't say what he put in the middle, but you can work it out yourself. Let's hope you're okay, Grub, for next week. Yeah. Massive thank you to our sponsors, of course, Dale. Fairhaven Homes, Buckley's Entertainment Centre, Lifeline. Remember, you can't do it alone. The Hotham Hotel, the Community Fiend Hotel. Oh, Gripper, he's taken to you, mate. It was me, actually, who said that, Grub. Anyway, the Community Fiend Hotel, the Yards Hotel, and, of course, the major sponsor of the Geelong District Football Netball League, the lads at Morris Finance. Lads and ladies at Morris Finance. So, no votes, Grubby, because, quite simply, we don't have an award to give out. So, we're going to give it a skip this week, and we might give 2 next week, or maybe Dale and I will go to the Hotham.
Actually, that might be a good idea, Spike. We might go there for lunch before we go down to Werribee next week.
We'll go to the Hotham. We'll go to the Hotham for
Send the voucher through the mail, Grub. We'll take it with no problem at all.
Grip, thank you very much for coming in. It's been fantastic having you on the box, mate. Coming in at the last minute. Obviously, drink with nappies. You probably need better friends. But no, appreciate your insight, mate. It was really, really good.
Appreciate the effort. It was and the opportunity. Nappies obviously pulled the pin on you last night, but he did. He's been at me all night. Make sure you tell him how good I was.
You don't have to, mate. He'll tell you himself.
Yeah, I know, but
Wayne was better.
Well,
Wayne
was better.
Wayne
brother.
Wayne was faster.
Nappies got legs about half an inch long.
Yeah, I know.
He can't run.
No.
He'd drown in that water, just see,
Yeah,
with his little legs.
Yeah, he didn't have to run very fast. He had the ball most of the time.
Yeah,
so,
they had to catch him, mate.
But no, he was a poor show today. So, but anyway, it's been enjoyable. Had fun, and thanks for the opportunity. It was great. Dale, as usual, mate. It's always a pleasure to work alongside you.
No worries, mate. Look forward to it next week. As I said, I've got to be back working again next Saturday morning, so I might be just a tad late by the time I get out of work and get down there. So
yeah, well, I'll do hashtag in the morning, mate. Go home and do the housework, and then I'll just head up the highway, mate. And
Grubby will have the cones out for us, so we won't have to go too far. We'd be right behind the bus. So
I'm a bit worried, mate. I'm a bit worried if they got the cones out in Werribee, buddy. Are they orange? They're going to be orange cones.
Yeah, the big Bergman one we're talking about here.
Hang on. He's Grubby's just said, "Give me your best players, and I'll get the badge from." Look, if you want your best player from me, McIntyre was...
McIntyre for me.
Yeah, there you are, mate. You got John McIntyre, Grubby, who was clearly our best player today, mate. So if you want to get the voucher to him...
we'll see him again in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, we'll see him again. So John McIntyre is our player of the day here. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to Jules and the crew. Thanks to Steelo back in the studio. You've been listening to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.